Hello,
Should
hello,
be more.
hello. Welcome to the Bigger Show. All right, guys. So, for those of you joining us, and I'll fill in some of you guys later. Hey, what's up, Toxic Shock? Just a heads up for you guys. This is our D&D one shot. So last month we had a like a promotion, I guess, or an incentive going on called 2K to 24. So the thought behind that was that if I reached a $2,000 payout on Twitch, we would host a 24-hour stream. We did meet that goal. That's not today. That's coming up in a couple weeks. However, we had a halfway goal for getting halfway to that payout, which gave us a 12-hour stream. And part of that was the top donator at that point was given the ability to pick one of the games that I would play for half of the stream. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to experience all of that because the games that our top donator, which was Call Me Backup, had selected and we were trying to play, my computer just couldn't handle it. So we played a little bit of Minecraft and we just kind of hung out and did our own thing. So in order to kind of make up for that, I promised him a solo campaign session that would tie into our current every other Saturday campaign. So every Saturday on my channel there's going to be D&D. We're just going to alternate who's DMing each Saturday. So technically this Saturday would have been the session that our friend Shadow was DMing. Unfortunately, he just didn't have the stuff together, wasn't ready for this weekend. So I'm going to take over and we're going to have an extra week here with this solo session of the campaign that I'm DMing. So that being said, that's what this one shot's going to tie into. So we're gonna run through this for him. It's kind of his special thing for being awesome the way he was, and helping us reach that goal. So tonight, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna run through a little play session. I'll give you guys a little bit of background as to what's going on, because I know not everybody saw all of our first session. It was like 6 or 7 hours. It was ridiculous. We made characters. We kind of started the session. We kind of started the story. And kind of jumped into it a little bit. So feel free to go back and watch that. I believe that's still up on Twitch. If not, once I get everybody's permission, I'll probably post that on YouTube as well. It'll be its own playlist, aside from the playlist that I'm going to make for Shadow's campaign, so you guys can kind of follow along with both of them. What's a dungeon and a dragon? Google it, man. You're at a computer. So that's kind of where we are. That's kind of what we're doing. Other announcements before we jump too far into this. It is September now. I did have our 2K to 24 roll over to September. So like I said, we already technically met that goal. So there is a bonus incentive for those of you that like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm calling it D12. So it's not as big as the 2K. It's actually half the goal. If we make it to that half of the goal, what we're going to do is we'll do a 12-hour stream of D&D. So I'll run a concurrent session for 12 hours where anybody can jump in and play for a little bit and jump out. Basically what will happen is we'll have a party that's kind of going through and just doing like contracts or going out and doing like just completing little missions here and there. So it'll be really easy for people to jump in. If you want more information on that, just exclamation point D12. But essentially the purpose behind this bonus incentive is kind of in a sense to give back to you guys in a way, obviously because I want to have a 12-hour D&D stream where all of you guys can join, because I think that'd be really fun and a whole lot of good stuff. But the other part of it is all of the proceeds from that will actually go back into the stream essentially, in upgrading the PC that I'm using so that we can play some of those bigger games that we're missing out on. That way I can get you guys more content, you can make more game requests, and we won't have an issue and have to do stuff like this as often. Not that I don't enjoy it, but it'd be nice to be able to do the things that you guys want to do and play the games that you guys want to see. So that's kind of what this bonus incentive for this month is going to be. Once we hit that, I'll schedule the 12-hour D&D session. That may end up being in October. We'll just kind of see based on when we hit the goal versus when the 24-hour stream is, because obviously I don't want to kill myself. But that's kind of what we're going into. So it's Eminem, Bizarre, Proof, Bug. Yeah, exactly, bud. Exactly. So last thing before we jump into this, I will say hello to all of you in chat. I really appreciate you being here. This is awesome. I want you to sit back. I want you to enjoy, relax, just kind of soak up the story, have some fun. I'm going to do my best to not interact with you guys verbally through chat. That way, when I do transfer this over to a YouTube video, we're not in the middle of a story and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? It doesn't sound really stupid. So just a heads up, if you comment, I'm going to see it. Just don't expect me to respond. Try not to be too stupid in chat. I'm looking at you, Toxic. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so we've got Russ here with me. Go ahead and say hello if you want.
Hello.
So this is Russ. He is calling back up. He was the donator that I was talking about. They got the first place spot on the incentive list. So we're going to go ahead. We'll jump into this. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of backstory. As you can see on the screen right now, I do have his character sheet up. His character's name is Raggar. He is a tabaxi, which is kind of like a humanoid cat. So think of like a I forget the name for him now, but kind of like in Skyrim, like the cat people, something along those lines. A little bit taller, a little slender. So that's what he's playing. It's actually he's playing.
Khajiit. That's what they are.
Yeah, Khajiit. There you go, like a Khajiit. But you're playing a rogue class, right?
Yep, I'm a arcane trickster rogue.
Yep. So he's going to be rogue. He's going to have stealth. He's going to have sneaky. The arcane gives him some access to some minor spells and some illusions, things like that. So it's fun, and it's meant to be fun. And so, yeah. So sit back, enjoy, and we'll kind of jump in. So to catch us all up, we started our campaign with a party of 4 that were adventurers that had kind of met up and made their way into a town called Fendalen. So within the town of Fendalen, it's kind of a new settlement town. It was once a larger town that was kind of destroyed in the process of some orcs making their way through. We also know, based on the background and the lore and the history of the area, that recently a young white dragon kind of came into the area and took over an older orc keep on Ice Spire Mountain or Ice Spire Hill, Ice Spire Peak, that's what it was, and was kind of disrupting the balance of nature a little bit, so forcing creatures to places they shouldn't be. So we've had orcs in places they shouldn't be, things of that nature. So our adventurers are coming into the land just on the aftermath of that. So this young white dragon, whose name is Cryovane, hasn't really been in the area for very long. So things are still just kind of a little hectic. So basically in the town, there have been like job offerings posted on basically a campaign board downtown outside of the town master's house, pretty much just asking adventurers or people to help out as best they can. So the first adventure, or the first job that our party took, was actually just a request to go out to the local windmill that was just south of town to warn one of the elder citizens that lived there, hey, there's this dragon floating around. Things are going crazy, and basically the party was trying to go out there and warn her and bring her back to the town of Fendalen, for her safety. Basically our party went there, they got to the windmill, and they realized that the windmill was currently being attacked by a manticore. So our party tried to reason with it a little bit, made some distractions. It didn't end up really going well. They weren't able to really communicate with the creature. It was too preoccupied or couldn't hear them. And so there ended up being a battle. They did end up taking down the manticore. They slayed it. One of the party members got pretty low, Orias, which you'll probably meet in our next session, or if you go back and watch the last one. Got pretty low, but they made it through. They slayed the manticore, and they saved the woman whose name was Adabra. And we know her to be kind of like an apothecary, I guess, or like a potion maker of the town. We know, just based on what we've been told from townspeople, that she is the one that makes like health pots and health potions for the town. And the party basically went out there, A, to do the contract, and B, because they were looking for health potions, and this was the best person to go to. So that's just about where we ended. So I'm going to fill in a couple things now that I'll also fill in our next session so that things are a little more continuous. So basically, at the end, Adabra, kind of thanked them. She actually rewarded them with a free health potion, and invited them all, because at this point, the sun was getting low. It was getting pretty dark out. Adabra invited them all in to stay with her for the night. She would feed them. She would put them up, let them stay there so that they could kind of rest and recover, and then talk business or whatever it is they wanted to do. So essentially, at this point, our party has accepted, and they're going into the windmill to relax and sleep the night away. So at this point, everybody has kind of settled down. They've gotten a room, they've gotten a bedroll out, what have you, and they're all going to sleep. So as sleep is coming over our party member Raggar, at this point you're kind of drifting into unconsciousness. Now, as this happens, you start to see lights, like a kind of a dull white, almost a bluish tint to it at first, and it gets more and more intense.
Is this like through the window I see it?
No. This is you falling asleep. So,
Oh, okay.
kind of like you're starting to dream, like you're going into that REM state. But you kind of realize, like, you still have control of your thoughts, but you're not awake. So it's not something that you're really experienced with. You've heard about this being kind of arcana based, as like a waking dream, almost kind of like a scrying experience for you. So as this is happening, though, your body, which was nice and warm and nestled down in a bedroll or what have you in this windmill, is starting to get cold. Like, you're starting to feel chilled, and it's not getting better. It's not getting super super bad. It's not to the point where you can't function, but you can physically feel yourself being cold, which is really weird for you. And this blue light that was kind of on your peripheral has started to take over your whole vision, and slowly it becomes a like this deafening blue, and then it begins to fade. And as it fades, you actually kind of start seeing almost like a white square appearing before you. So at this point, if you want to go into your tail spire, it should be in cutscene mode, so you should be able to see what I'm seeing.
Yep.
So you actually...
I can't see what you're seeing, but I see my perspective.
Because it should be in cutscene mode, so you should be seeing...
I can see the cutscene mode, yeah.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
I still have control over my camera, is what I mean.
Yeah, you lost control. Okay, so basically this is what you're seeing. You're kind of coming down onto this. It almost looks like a labyrinth, or like a maze on a piece of paper is being displayed in front of you. And as it gets closer, you start to see more and more details. Some things start to appear. You can see some dots. You can see like even you can kind of guess that maybe these little dots up here in the left-hand corner are probably like are those treasure chests, maybe something of that nature. But it starts to look more and more like a labyrinth in the snow to you. And just for like a flavor context for those of you, this is actually like a dungeon cavern, basically, is what he's seeing, and he can kind of recognize that. I apologize that the artwork isn't super beautiful, but hey, we're getting there. It's really good for 3 hours of work. But your view starts to slowly pan in as you have kind of seen this maze. You don't recognize it. It's nothing that you're familiar with. But you do start to come in, and you see a body kind of standing at this entrance to this maze. There's nothing behind it. It just looks like an abyss of black behind everything that isn't.
Now, are you talking about where I'm standing right now?
Yep, yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure, because I have control of my camera. I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how that works, because I should be in like cutscene mode, but
I am in cutscene mode, but I still can control the camera.
Gotcha. Okay, so, but yes, essentially at this point you are kind of zooming in on your character. You kind of start to see details of it, and you realize that this actually is, in fact, you standing there. So, just flavor for us watching the stream, we're going to keep a bird's eye view of this. But Raggar, if you want to go ahead and RP yourself, you can now, you've now entered your body, and you see in front of you this sprawling hallway that just, from what you can tell right now, seems to go straight on. But given the overview glimpse that you had before, you know that that's not true. You know there's twists and turns to this. And at this point, you're still kind of wondering what's going on. Again, you can still feel that you're cold. You still have control over your mind, and now you're starting to slowly gain control of your body. So it's starting to feel less and less like a dream. But you know in your mind that this can't be real. So as you slowly gain full control of your body, you do start hearing something in front of you. So farther down into this maze, you can kind of hear voices. You don't know the voices necessarily, but something in the back of your mind tells you that they're friends. They're people that you know in the real world in some way. And they start to become a little bit clearer. You can kind of hear them urging you to move on, to telling you to come find them. And at this point, you just know that that's ahead of you somewhere. So that's where I'll end my narrative. And you can begin with whatever you would like to do in this dungeon that is now real to you.
So I guess I'll let you know like the way I'm going to play this. I'm just going to RP it, and then I'll tell you if I'm out of character. Right?
Sounds good.
Oh, where am I? I'm not familiar with this place. Raggar looks behind him to try and gain his bearings.
Yep. So as kind of said, when you stare behind you, you can see the edge. Like it literally just looks like the floor that you're standing on stops, and there's just this abyss of black behind you.
Oh, not going that way. Guess I'll press on into this cave. What do I see anything down this tunnel here?
At the moment, you can kind of see a figure. You know from your previous view of this that this pathway does go straight here for quite a while, and you can kind of see a small humanoid figure kind of at the end. It's a few hundred feet away from you, but you can kind of see it just almost like what a guard would be doing, kind of walking back and forth. From your view here, it would be west to east, so you see him pop out every now and then.
Okay, cool. I have the compass enabled, so that works well.
Cool.
So I have a question as far as how you're going to rule shape water. Does snow count as water?
In this circumstance, it does not.
Okay.
Because I use snow just to more imitate the fact that it's like a snowy, icy layer. But for that, you would have to have had your own water on you, which I'll say, for the point of this, everything that you had on you when you fell asleep is currently on your possession as well.
Okay. And does that include the potion of healing?
Yes.
That we received from the woman? Okay.
Yeah, if it was in your inventory, then yes.
Okay. So I'd like to sneak.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth roll for me then.
That is a 27, 18 plus 9.
Okay. Yep, you are as quiet as a mouse, which is funny because you're a cat. Just moving up.
Can I see well? Is like the cave ahead of me lit, or is it like dim? I mean, I have dark vision, so
yeah. So it's not like daylight. It's eerily brighter than you think a dungeon should be, with just a little bit of almost fog, maybe from like a difference of temperature outside and inside. But for the most part, you can assume that you have regular vision down here like you would in daylight.
Okay. So I'm going to push forward to right here. And then I would like to cast Mage Hand invisibly, um, and place it the rock that's in front of me, right? So I'm viewing south to north. That's my viewpoint right now.
Mm-hmm.
So north in front of me, up behind that rock. I'd like to take my Mage Hand invisible and snap its fingers.
Okay. As you do so, you can hear the snap as the sound kind of echoes. It's not a loud sound necessarily, but it's loud enough that if anything were right there, it would probably draw its attention. Upon doing so, you just see the hand snap. You hear the sound, it reaches your ears, and that's about it. You don't detect any movement or anything at that moment.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna stop here and see if I hear any footsteps or sounds. I was muted. I talked, but it's like, wait, no one's responding.
Oh, you're fine. I kind of figured. You can go ahead and you can make a perception check if you'd like.
Okay. I roll an 11. 5 plus 6.
Okay, so based on the noises that you're picking up right now, all that you can hear is you can kind of hear maybe like the dripping of water, maybe just like drip, drip. Maybe some of the ice is melting around you, something of that nature. You still know that there's a creature farther down the hallway that's moving, but that's about all you've picked up so far.
Okay. I would like to. Well, I'm just going to move up and peer around this corner.
Okay. So looking around the corner to your left, you do spot that there is a hallway now that kind of diverts off to the west. You don't see anything immediately down it. It just looks like a blank, empty hallway at the moment.
Okay. I'm going to, I guess, start to trek down this hallway. Let's see. I'm gonna be hugging this left wall here as I walk down,
Okay.
looking for a spot to duck in if I need to, if someone walks around a corner.
Cool.
Okay. Do I notice any sounds? Does it sound like whatever footsteps I heard were still there, or do I hear anything at all? I
Nope.
do. I have passive perception of 16.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. I got you on that. Nope. At this point, everything is still eerily silent. As you move through, you can kind of hear your footsteps are making more noise than anything else, almost like a crunching of snow and ice under your feet.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Okay. Actually, as you make it to this corner here,
Mm-hmm.
which you're actually still looking that way, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Alrighty. If you want, I don't know if you can, Chris, but maybe turn on like approved movement, so then I can like say where I want to move, and then you can approve it.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured out how to do that yet, but
Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll just say I'd like to move here,
yeah,
and
yeah, easy enough.
make sure that's okay. All right. So I rolled a 4 plus 6, 10.
10. Okay. Just what you needed. So as you approach this corner, you kind of peek around it as you are currently stealthing, and trying to be as quiet as you possibly can. You do notice, upon first looking over, given your taller stature, You do see a chest. Looks to be a treasure chest, given your knowledge, kind of in this circled out room here. However, at the same time, just a little bit lower, you also see that there is a giant rat currently looking away from you. Can you now see that piece on the board?
Yes, I
Okay.
can. So
So, what would you like to do at this point?
I would like to. I would like to attack the rat with my dagger. Try to sort of assassinate it, if you would.
Okay, this would be a sneak attack, and you would have an assassin bonus if you have that perk, but I don't remember if you do or not.
I don't. I do not.
Okay, then yes, this would be considered a sneak attack. So you can go ahead and make your movement. You can't get past it, but you can move up to your move speed at this point to get next to it into melee range. And then go ahead and roll for your attack.
Okay. And for sneak attack, it's only finesse weapons you can sneak attack with, right?
Yes.
So I can use a rapier to sneak attack.
Yep.
Okay, so hit 15 to hit.
Yep, that does hit.
All right, so then that's going to be 5 plus 5, that's 10 plus sneak attack, which is 2d6s, which is 9. So 19.
Okay. So as you come around the corner, stealthily, like I said, you saw this rat. You go ahead and you pull out your rapier, and still being as quiet as you can, you sneak up behind it, and you just take your rapier as it's a stab weapon, and you just stab it right into the side of this rat. And it immediately just goes lifeless and limp on your blade. And you know at this point that mouse is dead. And that'll take you out of combat for the moment.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was more so just asking if I could inspect the rat to see if it looks normal, like a normal rat.
As soon as you realize the rat is dead, it just disappears. There's no body,
Oh,
there's no blood, there's no trace of it left.
oh my. Well, that was weird. And I go up here and take a look at these goodies.
Sure.
It was, but I'm not gonna walk all the way to it. Um, is the chest facing me, or is it facing the wall? I can't really tell.
It's meant to be facing you. It might not look like it, but all of any
Okay.
chest that you come upon is going to be facing you. None of them are like walk around to open it.
Okay. Can I check for traps?
Sure. Go ahead, and that would be a perception check to actually look for traps versus coming
Okay.
across them.
I rolled a 7. 1 plus 6.
As best you could tell, it just looks like a wooden chest sitting on a ground of snow.
I'd like to cast my mage hand and pat the ground around the chest.
Okay. So you go ahead and you reach out with this arcane hand, and it starts patting around. It gets around the whole chest, even hits the chest itself a couple times, and nothing really happens. You see maybe some snow powder come up. You hear just a little faint slapping of the hand on the ground, and that's about it.
All right. Well, I love treasure, so I'm jumping in excitement. Let's check out this chest. See what's going on over here. So I want to open the chest.
Okay. So you go ahead, you reach forward, you find the latch on the chest. It's unlocked, fairly easy. You're able to just pop it open. You go ahead and open the chest. And inside, laying at the bottom of the chest, you see a rapier, very much like the one you're holding, except this one's giving off like a faint light blue, almost like the blue that you saw as you were coming into this dream world. Just kind of radiating off of the actual blade a little bit. You go ahead and you pick up the rapier, and as you put it in your hands and as you grab it, you're not sure how, but the the knowledge of this rapier, it's almost like the rapier tells you that this rapier is a rapier of cold slaying, is what we're calling it. So essentially, for the point of mechanics for this is a rapier that has a +1 to hit, and it also does an additional 1d10 damage to any dragon type creature.
Okay.
But beyond that, it's a regular d8, or it's a regular 1d8 or whatever it is for your rapier. Just a bonus to hit and bonus damage on dragons.
All right. So should I add that to my equipment?
Yeah,
Or
you can wield it now if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah.
But I wouldn't add it to your player sheet. I would just make a note that you
Okay.
have this.
Okay. All right. So I'll. Can I just do an Arcana check? I mean, or do I not need to because you told me?
Yeah, you don't need to. Everything that you get from an Arcana check is what I told you there.
Okay. Cool. Because that was what I was going to do anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So. Wow. This is cool. I've always wanted a blade that kind of glows a little bit. Much cooler than the blade I have now. I think I'll wield this one for a little bit.
Cool.
So I'm gonna put my other rapier back, have this one out, and I'm gonna proceed on, see how things go.
Okay.
So I'd like to walk up to this corner here and kind of peer around. Yeah, I'm a rogue, so I'm sneaky. I'm kind of not sure what's going on here, where I am. I'm just trying to get a bearing on my surroundings.
Sure. So as you come up and you kind of round this corner as well, and looking at the corner in front of you, again, it just seems eerily quiet, like nothing is really there. You don't notice anything substantial. At this point, you're being a little bit louder than you were before because you entered combat. If you'd like, you can make another stealth check.
Sure. I will make a stealth check. Can't ask a rogue if he's going to make a stealth check. I mean, 21, 12 plus 9.
Okay. Yep. So you catch yourself. You realize that you were walking kind of loud, that you hadn't been taking your time as you had before. So you slow down. You start to breathe a little quieter, and you essentially re-enter stealth mode. And
Okay.
you can continue.
All right, I'm going to walk down this hallway. Just sort of as I'm walking, just sort of checking to see if I see anything out of the ordinary, kind of cautiously moving forward, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As you continue down the hallway, you don't really notice anything too out of the ordinary yet. But as you get closer to this chest, so about where you're at now, you do notice once again, very similar to the last chest, that there is also, not looking at you, there we go, is also a rat guarding this chest as well.
All right. I'd like to try to go for sneak attack in the rat here.
Okay. Go ahead. It
alert
has
his
not
speed.
noticed you yet, so you do have one free round on it, basically.
Yep, so I'm going to move up to the rat here and stab him in the back, like I do best.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an attack again. And this, don't forget you have a +1 on hit for the new rapier.
Okay, so 17 plus 1 is 8. Hold on, let me, I gotta grab. Can I grab a notebook real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, here, I'll just make a note. +1 to hit. And you said it's an additional D10?
To dragon types. Rats are not considered
to
dragon types.
Okay.
I'm using that loosely. It's just kind of a weapon of my own creation. Everything in here basically will be.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, I made a note. And then, all right, so I rolled a 17 to hit. +1 is 18. And then, do I hit?
Yes, absolutely.
So I hit for 8. And that's a sneak attack, so +4. 12.
Okay. So again, just like the last rat, seeing that you have an advantage on it, you take out the new rapier, and again you just silently, as stealthily as you can, you walk up behind it, and again, skewer this one just like the first, and in the same wondrous fashion as this rat you realize dies on the end of your blade, it also just vanishes. It just fades away from existence, is how you see it.
Wonder what happens if I get stabbed, if I'll just poof out of existence. So I'm going to progress up here. Oh, what do I see here? Is this a chest?
Dum,
I'd like to reach out with my rapier, like from a distance, just kind of like lightly like tap around it. Still kind of suspicious. Seems like a lot of chests.
Okay, so tapping around and using your blade itself to actually kind of hit the box and maybe a little bit of the area around it. Again, just like the last one, you don't really notice anything happening. Just to you, it sounds like another wooden chest in a snowy hallway.
I don't know, man, Chris. You're making me nervous. Out of character. I feel like you're setting me up to make a bad decision. All right. How heavy is the chest lid, by the way? Like, how heavy is it to lift up?
You can certainly try and lift it if you'd like.
No, I mean like lift it open.
Oh, maybe 2 or 3 pounds, not much.
Okay, I'd like to cast Mage Hand to open the chest.
Okay, so you go ahead and bring out your mage hand, and it again, this chest also seemingly being unlocked. The mage hand is able to just kind of grab the top and flips it right open, and you see, even from the distance you're at, there's another light blue glow matching that of the rapier that's currently in your hands. Would you like to move forward and look in?
Yes.
Okay, so as you step up to the chest and you look in, you see a pair of bracers are inside of this chest. Again, like I said, giving off that blue glow just like your rapier.
Okay. I'll pick up the bracers.
Okay.
I guess inspect them.
Cool. And again, this item is also one that you won't actually add to your inventory right now. Just make a note that you have it.
Yeah, I'm not adding anything. I'm just making notes.
Yep. So this one, again, just like the rapier, as you pick it up, like almost like the item is telling you itself. It appears basically to be a part of a set with the rapier. So these are bracers of cold slaying.
Okay.
However, they don't give you an advantage on attack, but they do give you an advantage on stealth rolls.
Okay.
When worn. They don't add anything to your armor, but they don't subtract anything. You can put them on now, and it wouldn't affect any of the items that you're currently wearing.
I'd like to just put them in my pocket, like in my backpack.
Okay. All right, so you go ahead and store those for now.
I'm sorry. So what's the special thing about it? Just they're glowing blue?
Yeah, and they give you advantage on stealth checks.
Okay.
I'm gonna write that down as well. Okay, so you have got.
Yeah, I'm making notes. All right. Well, seems to be a loot-filled dungeon of poofing rats. I'd like to go ahead and just mosey on down this hallway. Oh, actually, I'd like to stealth first.
Yeah. Go ahead and
I
make
rolled
a
24.
non-advantage stealth check.
24? 15 plus 9.
Cool. This time, remembering that the last time you opened a chest, you got excited and started to hurry on. You take a moment as you turn around and you resume your kind of low, quiet movement.
All right, I'd like to progress forward. Just going to be walking down the hallway here, stealthily, like I do. Man, there's a lot of loot in this dungeon. With the weird black abyss below me. I wonder what's around this corner.
Yep, as you get to this corner, go ahead and make a perception check for me. Let's just check where you're at when looking.
I rolled a 9. 3 plus 6.
Okay, so given that you knew he was there before, the humanoid that was making rounds earlier east to west is now kind of making its way south, almost towards you. It does come into view a little bit better, and you can see that it looks kind of like a small goblin, maybe, wielding what appears to you to be a short bow.
Okay. I'd like to press myself flat against this wall in the direction he's coming towards or coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this direction right here that I'm
Yep.
facing towards. Press myself flat against the wall. Cast Mage Hand, looking sort of around the corner, like diagonally. So I don't know if you can see like my little marker thing.
Yep. Yeah, I can see it.
Can you see that
Yep.
right here? I'd like to make a like a snap there and just kind of lie in wait to see if I can get his attention.
Okay. So seeing this, what appears to be goblin walking down the hallway, you go
Invisible, by the way, invisible mage hand.
Okay. You go ahead and you can see it because you know where it's at, but you know that it's
Right.
invisible. You bring up your mage hand and you again make a snapping noise. Um, you know that it's loud enough that he should have heard it. To your knowledge, though, you don't know yet whether he actually did. If you'd like, you can make a perception check because you are still stealth. You can make a perception check to see if you notice the goblin making any action.
Okay. I'm going to roll perception then. I rolled a 14, 8 plus 6.
Okay, good enough. Yep, you do see the goblin he's kind of picked up his pace, and now he's made it to about here.
About. Where'd you say?
Where he's at now. Did it move forward? Can you see it?
I
So it's
cannot
about
see.
10, 15,
I
20.
did not see anything.
He's about 25 feet down the hallway.
Okay.
Let me see if I hide him and then unhide him. Do you see it now?
No. Wait, maybe I'm looking in the wrong direction. No.
He's
not
north
there.
of you.
No. No goblin in sight. I wonder if it's because of my character. Oh, I see. Wow, that's interesting. I can't see him because there's a wall here.
Oh,
But when I
that
drag
is-
my character out,
okay.
I can see him.
Now you can see. Okay, that is really neat. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to
A little bit of
actually-
testing here too for everybody.
Yeah. So that's cool. So we figured out that if your character piece can't see the goblin, then you as a player can't see it on your screen. So
Okay, cool.
that
So
is
I don't
really
have to
neat.
make all these. I don't have to be like as cautious as I've been because I'll be able to see stuff as long as it's actually moving.
Yep.
Like as long as you're actually keeping track of them. Okay, cool.
That's cool.
That is really cool, actually. Really helpful and useful.
Yeah, I figured you could just see it, but no, that's awesome. Okay, so yeah,
All right.
he's about 25 feet down the hallway is what you're able to tell based on peeking around the corner.
All right. Well, I'm gonna withdraw my. Well, I guess I already have my rapier out. I'm just gonna lay and wait, see what he does. And if he walks around the corner, I guess I'm gonna set a condition. If he walks up to the corner, I'm gonna wait for him to pass about like 5 feet. Then I'm gonna go for him.
Okay, so just kind of waiting there. The goblin does make his way 5, 10, 15, 20. He stops about even. You know, you can probably see him now out of the corner of your eye, though you're pushed up against this wall. He, if he were to be looking, you know that he might be able to see you. If you were to move or make some sort of sudden movement. However, he kind of stops here and is looking forward, so south for you, kind of where he assumes that the sound came from. He stands there for maybe 10, 15 seconds, doesn't really see anything moving, and you notice then that he begins to turn around.
All right. I'd like to try and attack the goblin.
Okay.
I can see him, by the way, like where he's at. And I think if he's like 5 foot further back, I can see him there. But once you go past that, I can't see him. So like basically where the wall's at, like where my character is, the bottom of me. If you were to like draw a line out from the outside edge of the circle, I can see that distance out.
Oh, you can see
So, like, I
diagonally too. That makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So I could see him like 2 to 3 squares back. I'm just saying for your knowledge.
Yeah. That's awesome. I wish it gave me like a little indicator so I knew if you saw it. That'd be neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that works. Cool. So yeah, so you want to go ahead and seeing him turn around, move to attack him, right?
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
so you still have freedom of movement, so go ahead and place yourself. And then you can roll to hit with the rapier.
All right, so I roll. Oh gosh, a 10.
That does not hit. So
Oh boy.
as you run out, realizing that this goblin's attention is now focused back towards what you're assuming is its duty or the path that it was currently walking, you rush out and you take your rapier and you go to hit him. Unfortunately, just given the fact that there's some ice and some snow, you lose your footing a little bit and your rapier goes a little sideways, and you just kind of brush his side. He does recognize this, however, realizing somebody's attacking him, he's going to move and turn around to see you. So at this point, we'll go ahead and roll initiative for the first time.
Come on, you should be expecting this with a rogue. All right, so I roll a nat 20 plus 5.
Okay, so top of the round, you will get to go first.
All right, I have a question. Is the ground around us, what's the state of the ground? Is it like packed snow?
Yeah, it's packed snow and like cobblestone.
Okay, so no dirt.
No.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to swing at him with my rapier, kind of pissed off that I missed the first time.
Okay.
And I roll an 18 plus 7. Yeah, that's okay. That is my DC. 18 plus 7. The rapier plus 1, I guess, is 26.
Okay, that hits. A lot better than a 10.
Yeah. And then that does 9 damage.
Okay. So the goblin turns.
I didn't have advantage on that roll, right?
No,
Oh, but it's a crit too, right? So don't I roll damage twice?
it's okay.
Oh wait. No, it's not a crit. Sorry, that was initiative.
Yeah. Yep. No
Okay.
worries. So you went in. You tried to hit it the first time. It brushed its side. It recognizes. It turns on you. As it's pulling up its bow to notch an arrow at this would-be attacker now. You gather yourself again and you pull your rapier back and you make another lunge at it, going straight through its chest. And again, just like with the rats, this goblin just kind of vanishes off the edge of your rapier.
Goblin poof too. Interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and progress down the hallway here, ever so slowly. Just tell me if I need to stop.
No, you're good. You can make it to the edge of the hallway.
Oh wait.
before doing
Actually, wait, oh, I'm stupid. I'm gonna stealth. With a 14, 5 plus 9.
Okay. So again, with all the excitement of battle, you're ready to go. So you start rushing forward. Again, catch yourself and slow down. You don't notice anything around you that has taken notice of that, so you feel safe for the moment.
Okay. I want to go ahead and move up to here. I wonder what's around this corner. I gotta angle my camera. Sorry. So I'm gonna step forward. So because I'm gonna turn off. I gotta turn off a setting so that I can show you like when I'm just going to a corner.
Mhm.
I'm gonna turn off snap to grid just so like I can show you like when I'm going to like right here,
Yeah, no worries.
like a corner. There you go. So I'm gonna just peer ever so slightly, like around this corner here, see if I see anything.
Cool. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. I rolled a 11, 5 plus 6.
Okay. Given what you can see, you see a long, snowy hallway, just kind of like where you started again. Nothing immediately pops out at you.
Interesting. I'll make my way here. Just gonna hug this left wall. There's some crevices I see that I could maybe duck into if given the right opportunity.
Okay. As you make your way to that edge there, go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Okay. 18 plus 6, 24.
Okay. So making your way to the edge of this wall, you see that there is a path that kind of cuts off here. So you can kind of peek over the edge. If you'd like, you can move your character forward a square and back a square. You do see a
Ooh,
giant rat
hello.
at the end, and kind of you see that it turns again, but you can see that there is a rat there, much like the rats that you saw back at the beginning that were guarding the chests.
Okay. Now can I don't have my bow equipped, but can I take my bow out and try and take a little stealthy shot at him?
Sure.
Why not? That's weird. Hold on, I gotta inventory equipment. Hold on. That's weird. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. Uh, Actions. All right. So I'm gonna peer around this corner here. Try and take a shot at Mr. Rat.
Mm-hmm.
And I roll 14 plus 7 is 21. Do I hit?
Yep, that hits.
3 plus 8 plus 7. So 15.
Okay. So you go ahead and you pull out your bow and taking your time, knowing that it hasn't seen you yet, line up a shot and just let the arrow fly. And the same instant that the arrow makes contact with the side of this rat, both your arrow and the rat just vanish from sight.
Huh. I'm going to take a dagger out. I'm going to put my short bow away and take my dagger out.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what happens if I cut myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna take a dagger and just kind of like cut across like my palm a little bit, not like deep, but just enough to like draw blood.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you go ahead and excuse me, had to cough. Pull out your dagger and you just put it on your hand. And you just kind of make a little cut. You do suffer 1 point of slashing damage,
Okay.
and you notice that some blood starts to come out as it trickles down your palm, and a little drop of it falls from your palm. The blood never hits the ground. It's just gone.
Huh. Guess I can even disappear. All right. I'm gonna pull back out my cold rapier, and I'm gonna go ahead and take a look-see down this hallway.
Okay, so as you make it to that corner, um, you realize you
Oh.
hear it coming. Um, the rat had a buddy.
Oh my.
And this rat actually knows you're there, and he is going to get an attack on you.
Okay.
Oops, didn't mean to hit that button. That is a 15 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay, so the rat, knowing you're there, is rushing you and kind of leaps up to bite your arm. You thankfully notice it in time. Your passive perception is pretty on point right now, and you manage to move your arm back as it leaps and misses and lands in front of you. And at this point, go ahead and roll initiative for me as well.
All right. I roll a nat 20 plus 5 again for some reason.
Okay, so you can go ahead and make an action.
All right. I'm going to, I guess, stab him with my rapier, which is a 2 plus 9 plus 1, a 10.
Okay, that hits.
And then I would like to, let's see, 3 plus 5 is 8.
Okay, so in a fashion that you're now used to, you take your rapier and you stab it right into this rat's head, and again, poof! It's just gone. No noise, no sound. Just it was there 1 second. And you've kind of caught on now that even as you make contact with a creature, so far at least, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of resistance. Almost like it's just air.
Okay.
But it is gone.
Okay. I see. All right. So I'm gonna. So I'm curious, right? Mage hand, and I don't know, and this is just a ruling. I guess I'm asking for you. I have to be line of sight for it, right? I know that. But if I cast it out in front of me in the hallway, Mage Hand has no way of knowing what's down the hallway, right? I know it doesn't have
Correct.
eyes.
Yep. Yeah. It cannot. It does not relay any information to you.
Okay, cool. I'm going to stealth because I learned my lesson there. No, I'm not going to stealth. I rolled a 1 + 9. 10.
All right. You're at this point. You've killed another rat. Another rat came and attacked you. Your heart is pounding, and your adrenaline's just running right now. You're not really thinking about staying quiet at this moment.
All right, well then, nothing better to do than run around the corner and be ready to face whatever's here.
And you see an empty chamber.
I don't know. I'd like to walk up to this wall here. Actually, I'm going to walk up to right here. Just take a perception check at the wall. See if this is a wall or if this is not a wall.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
I know it sounds stupid, but I roll an 11.
Okay. That is a stone wall to you.
Damn. Thought it might have been something else. Alright, well, I'm going to... I'm still... Oh, wait. Actually, never mind. I already failed my roll. I'm going to walk back out here. With rolls, just for clarification, because I just rolled a low, stealth roll. At what point can I try to roll another stealth roll?
Roughly every minute is what I'm going to say. You can try and re-roll, or every time you exit an encounter.
Gotcha. Alright, well, now I'm going to make my way down here to this hallway. Kind of stumbling about, sort of annoyed.
So a minute for you will probably be like another 30 to 50 feet.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. So I'm walking down this hallway. I wonder. The only thing I don't know how this is just out of character as far as this game or this program's concerned. I don't know if there's a way to connect vision, your whatever your vision distance would be with the character as a stat panel. So if I get close enough to something, I can see it even if it's a straightaway. Because it might just be straight LOS right now.
Yeah, I imagine there might be, because I can go to players, or I can go somewhere, and I can set stats. So I will have to play around with it a little bit, but I would imagine probably so if they have that feature in the game already, where you have a certain view distance. I can't see them not making that adjustable.
Okay. I want to make my way down this hallway. Kind of frustrated that a rat got the jump on me when I'm a stealthy boy. Huh. So I have a straightforward path. Can I take a perception check to kind of look at both hallways, see which direction I want to go?
Absolutely.
I can see if I get any information.
Sure.
All right. I rolled a 9. 3 + 6.
Okay. So basically, all you can tell at this point is that the path kind of goes northeast at a diagonal. It seems to continue on for quite a while. However, the path to your south, you can look down it and you do see 10, 20, 30, 40, about maybe 60 or 70 feet away, you can see what looks like a wall. So either this goes into another chamber or it ends there, but you can definitely see some sort of wall at the end of this path versus the northeast or the northwestern path.
I'm gonna take a gander down this way here. Am I able to make a stealth check?
Sure.
Say 18 + 27. Plus 27 + 9. It's 27.
Okay. So now that you've gotten back into the mode of adventuring, you have calmed down, you've started to slow down. and you have resumed your quiet, stealth-like presence. And at this point, you don't notice that anything had caught on to you prior, so you can continue on.
Okay. All right. What do
So
I see in this room here?
as you enter this chamber, go ahead and make another perception check for me.
Okay. I rolled a 7 plus 6, 13.
Okay, good enough. So, entering this chamber, you are able to notice about three goblins that are currently not really hiding necessarily, but they are behind these stones that you can see in the room. None of them really appear to be looking at you necessarily. The stones are kind of high. You can just kind of barely see them over top of the stones. But they seem to be either doing their own thing, or there's two of them over to your east that seem to maybe be interacting with each other.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
additionally, on that, with a clear line of sight to your southeast, you do see another treasure chest in the corner of this like squared off chamber almost.
Ooh. I see a chest. Well, I'm going to go ahead and stealthily try and cross the room here to the guy who's by himself.
Okay.
There's such a cool animation from my point of view when I like break LOS with the guys where they like kind of like just disappear from existence. It really looks cool. Uh, so I'm gonna sneak up on him here and see if I can get a nice little stabby stab on him.
Okay. You can go ahead and roll an attack. You were stealthed, so at this point he's not aware of you.
I gain advantage on stealth rolls, right?
If you have the
Or
bracers
no?
equipped.
If I have what?
The bracers equipped, unless you
Oh,
just have it
okay.
naturally. But yeah, you put them in your
No, no.
bag, so they're not on currently.
Yep. Yeah, I know that. All right. So that was a 23 to hit. 16 plus 7.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. And I hit for 6 plus 5, 11 plus 6. So 17.
Okay, so making your way into this room, like I said, you saw that the orcs were kind of preoccupied. You very quietly make your way down to this orc that you can see, or goblin, excuse me, not orc, goblin.
I was like,
That
wait a sec.
this goblin
I grew.
that you can see is by itself. You very carefully make your way around this rock pile that it's standing next to you, keeping an eye on it the whole time because you can see its head. It's not really paying any mind to your direction. You're not sure what it's doing, but as you round the corner, you get a full view of its body, and you take out your rapier like you have been, and as it's a stab weapon, you just lunge forward, and this one as well just kind of disappears as your blade were to make contact with its body. It's just gone.
I'm going to mumble to myself in a quiet voice. Again with the poofing. So I see him over here. I'm going to pull out my short bow. And I'd like to take a crack at... Actually, I'm going to stealth the right here-ish. And take a crack at this goblin that's closest to me.
Okay.
There's a 15.
15 to hit. That hits.
Okay.
Just barely.
Oh, I didn't stealth, damn it. So that's a 6.
6 damage on it.
Yeah, because I wasn't stealthed, right? Technically there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So, after dispatching the first goblin, you make your way over to get a good line of sight on this, on the lower of the two goblins that you know are on the eastern side of this room. You go ahead and pull out your bow. You notch an arrow back and you just let it go. This time, you see the arrow actually stop once it hits the goblin. It looks like it's entered the goblin, in a way that you would normally shoot another creature while hunting or while in combat. And to your knowledge, you do see the goblin react as if it got hit, and appear to take damage. but then the arrow itself just kind of disappears. But the goblin, obviously being attacked, has now turned and made its attention on you. So we'll go ahead and roll initiative at this time.
Okay. I rolled a 22, 17 plus 5.
Okay, so top of the round, that will start with your turn, but you do have your bow out at this moment, which you would need to reload as well, unless you took a feat that auto reloads.
No, is reloading an action?
Wait, is it a regular bow or is it a crossbow?
It's a short bow.
Oh, okay, no, never mind. You don't have to worry about it then. You don't have to wait. Crossbows, you have to waste an action to reload.
Okay.
A regular bow, you do not. My bad. You're good.
No worries. All right, so I'm gonna take another pot shot at him.
Okay.
I rolled a 18 plus 7, 25.
That hits.
And then I rolled 3 plus 5, 8.
Okay. So seeing this goblin turn around and knowing that you've got some damage on it at least, you go ahead and you notch up another arrow and you just let it fly. And this one hits it kind of in the shoulder, and it's just gone.
Okay.
Yeah, at that point, that brings us to the other goblin's turn. Seeing that his friend has now been dispatched, this goblin is going to move forward, and he is. Let me see here.
So I actually did I use my bonus action already? I guess my turn's over. Sorry, I'll ask this time.
No, you did not use your bonus though. I'm sorry. If you'd like to, you can.
Well, I couldn't see the goblin anyways. I didn't have LOS on him, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. So now this goblin has moved in to replace where its friend was previously standing, and you can see that he is also wielding a short bow, and he's going to go ahead and ready a shot at you. And that is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So you will take 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
So he comes up, he knocks up an arrow, he takes aim at you and just lets it go, and you see this arrow streak at you, and you feel pain in your chest as this arrow would make impact with your chest. And looking down, you see that there's no arrow there, but almost like it was there for a second. You almost catch a glimpse, like it just disappeared as well, like yours have been doing. And you see a little bit of blood coming down from your tunic. You see a drop of it kind of fall off, and that also disappears. And it's your turn.
Okay. I'd like to take a shot at him since he just shot at me. But first, I'm going to move back here to use this as cover.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a shot at him.
Go ahead.
All right. Roll a 17 plus 7, 24.
That hits.
I roll a 7, 2 plus 5.
Okay. So running back behind the boulder and, being thoroughly confused as to what is happening with combat, but you're still feeling the pain from his shot. But you are able to ready up another arrow and let it fly at this goblin, and again, it hits him, and he is just gone.
Oh. Interesting. Is there any way for me to mend my wounds out of combat?
If you have an ability, sure.
I do not, so never mind.
You can try and take a short rest if you'd like.
I'm good. I don't want to do that. Bad idea. I know better than that. So I'm gonna approach the chest I see over here, and then actually before I do that, I'm just gonna take a quick peek-see behind me.
Okay.
Look and see if make sure there's, I've cleared the room out.
Yep. From what you can see, this room is now empty and silent.
All right. Well, I'm gonna cast my mage hands, and I'm gonna paddle around the chest and feel up the chest because I don't trust chests.
Okay, so summoning your mage hand again, as you have with the other previous chests, it pats around the ground. Nothing immediate happens. You give a couple taps on the chest. Again, sounds just like a wooden chest. Nothing significant happens.
Okay. By the way, I can do that with mage hand, like being arcane trickster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you normally can do that. Like you can pat around, but it won't do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna approach the chest, have a look, see what's in the chest.
All right. Are you keeping your mage hand up?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm essentially viewing Mage Hand like once I have it perform an action, if I'm not in combat, that is pretty much gone.
Cool. All right. So you make your way up to the chest. You are looking around, and just like the last two, this looks like a general wooden chest in a random dungeon.
You're making me more nervous. All right, I'd like to cautiously open the chest.
Okay. Let me see here.
Oh no.
So you're going to reach in to kind of go for the lid of this chest just to open it up. See what's in this chest. I would like you to make. Oh, I wish it told me. Hold on a second here.
God.
Oh, no, never mind. You don't make anything. So you go to open the chest, and as your hand touches the lid, your hand feels stuck, and the lid is
Can I
not moving.
stop my movement?
You are stopped. You are stuck. The hand that you first put on the chest is stuck on the chest.
Oh shit! I know what this is. This is a mimic. Uh, can I try to pull off the chest? Like pull away
Um,
from it?
you'll get one chance. Go ahead and just roll a d20 and tell me what you get.
All right. 19.
Okay, so you using all of your might and your force, kind of recognizing that, oh no, this is a trap of some sort. This is not what I'm used to. This isn't, and kind of reactionarily you just jump back as hard as you can, and you do manage to pull your hand off of the chest. But at this point, you can see that the chest is now moving. So I'll have you roll initiative.
Oh god. You know, I have nightmares about mimics. I rolled a 12.
Okay, so as you've now kind of taken yourself back, again, like I said, you see this chest is now moving. Unfortunately, I didn't have a mimic creature, so this chest is pretty much going to sit still for the moment. But anyways, you see that bubbles are starting to appear on the top of the chest, and they start to form into these yellow orangish eyes, and the lid of the chest begins to open up, and you can start to see teeth, these white stained teeth, and where gums would be on a normal creature, there's just this like purple stretching gum like material, and a large purple tongue starts coming out of the chest, and it is actually going to let's see, what is it going to do? It is going to attack you with its tongue. So it's going to lash that tongue at you to attack. And that is a 15 plus 20 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So you are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are now also considered grappled by its tongue.
God.
And that will bring it to your turn.
Can I try to kind of cut his tongue off to free myself with my. Which hand does it have?
Are you right-handed?
Yeah.
It has your left.
Okay. Can I try to cut his tongue off with my sword to like free myself? Like I'm attacking it, right? But I'm also trying to free myself.
Yeah, you can try for that.
Okay. Um. Roll a 15.
Okay, the attack
Eight
does
plus
hit.
seven. All right. I roll 7 plus 5, 12.
So 12 damage.
Actually, I guess I actually rolled a 16. I think because that rapier. I keep forgetting that rapier has a +1. Does it? Doesn't have any damage, but damage bonus, right?
It's a
So it's
plus
plus
one
one
on
to
your
hit.
attack roll to hit.
Oh, +1 on my attack roll. Okay, then it's a 13.
Okay. Okay. So, um, with your left arm now being held by this just gross, and it feels almost like a soft clay like tongue, but you can tell that it's sticky and it's unmoving. You bring your rapier up in an attempt to take its tongue off, forgetting that the rapier is mostly a stab weapon, so that the sides of the blade aren't quite as effective as actually pushing it into something. You just take the blade and whack it right on the tongue. You notice it curls back a little bit, and you leave kind of like a welt on the tongue, dealing that damage to it. But aside from that, it still has a firm grasp on your arm.
Okay. I'd like to. Oh fuck! Guess I can't do that. 'Cause I don't have my mage hand out. Hmm. What even can I do as a bonus action?
Um,
I can try and disengage, right?
you can, as a bonus action, you can try and succeed to get out of the grapple.
Oh, okay. Well then, let me do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just go
what
ahead
would
and
I
roll a
roll?
d20.
Okay. I rolled a 14.
Okay, and given the fact that this is actually its tongue and has made it, you're actually going to roll this with disadvantage. My fault. So roll again.
Okay. How do I roll that on here? Hold on. Is there a way to roll it? Oh, I just roll again. I guess just essentially for
Yep.
disadvantage, right?
Yeah. Just roll another d20.
Okay. Well, I rolled a 6, so 6.
Okay, so struggling with all your might, you are now trying to pull yourself free, but it is not giving. Either the adherence of its tongue or just the strength that it has behind it is holding you there. Um, so at this point, the mimic is going to attack. I do want to ask at this point, what is your current health total?
8.
You have 8. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it is with you grappled. It is going to attempt to bite you, and that is an 8 to hit.
Well, I'm dead.
No, that's 8 against your AC.
Oh, 8 against my AC.
Yes.
Does not hit.
Okay. So it goes to bite you, but given the fact that you are currently pulling back and struggling as best you can, it actually isn't able to sink its teeth into you. It just kind of goes forward, and it isn't enough leverage to actually get to you, and it misses. So that will bring us back to your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna stab it again.
Okay.
I rolled a 22, 15 plus 7.
Okay, that does hit.
And I rolled a 8, 3 plus 5. Or sorry, 9.
9 damage.
3 plus 5 plus the 1 from the sword.
Alrighty. Okay, so this time you, remembering that it's a stab weapon, you take the rapier and you just stab it straight into essentially the chest area of this chest, dealing 9 points of damage, and the mimic just kind of rears back. You can tell it's not very happy with you.
Is it still am I still grappled?
Yep, you can roll disadvantage again as a bonus action to try and break it again.
Okay. I'll try that again. Uh, let's see. That's 20 and a 11.
Okay. Again, to the same avail as last time, you're pulling as hard as you can, and it's just not budging. And that will bring us to the mimic's turn again. At which point, it is going to just try and bite you again. That is a 15 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. Again, given the struggle, the constant back and forth, it's not able to really get at you with enough range to bite you, so it misses again, and that takes us back to your turn.
Okay. I can't do that because I can't set my weapon. Do I see any what's the ground look like where I'm standing? Like, is it just snow
Yep, it's
and
just like
rocks?
just the rest of the cave so far. It's snow and stone.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just attack it again. I don't
Okay.
know what else to do.
Yep. Go ahead and roll.
All right. 18 plus 7, 25.
Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
4 plus 5 plus 1, 10.
Okay. So again, this time, bringing your rapier, pulling it back just like you did the time before. You just stab straight forward in front of you, and as it makes contact with the mimic, it just goes through and disappears. The mimic
Thank
is gone.
God.
And
You
now,
know,
go ahead.
you had me paranoid, and right as I started getting comfortable, it screwed me. I won't ever trust you again.
So, as the mimic disappears, you do notice that there is still a chest where it was, but this chest is not moving. It does not appear to have anything about it either. But you do know, given the circumstances of everything else, you did have the same vanishing act from this mimic as you've had from all the other creatures so far that you've encountered.
Okay. First off, I'm going to use the potion of healing I have in my backpack. What is that? Is that 2d4? Is that what that is? Let me see.
Yeah, so for the purpose of this, if you're going to use the healing potion, it automatically succeeds on a maximum roll.
Okay. So I heal 8 hit points then.
Yep.
Okay.
So that puts you back to 16?
Yep.
All right.
All right, I'm going to kick the chest because I'm pissed off.
Okay. You kick the chest and you see that the lid just kind of bounces. That's about it. And then you just hear this dull wooden thunk.
Oh, right. That's right. There's other things in this place. I guess I'm going to open the chest. God.
Okay. As you open the top of the chest this time with no sticky substance, you just there's this blinding blue light, very much like when you were first transported here. It just fills your entire vision, and we're going to take a quick break.
Okay, cool. I need to use the restroom anyways.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. All right, we are back. So, right before break, Raggar went ahead and walked up to this chest that he found in this nice squared off cavern here. Realized upon touching it and getting stuck to it that it was a mimic. With some back and forth struggle, he was able to, from as far as we know, vanish or kill or vanquish this mimic. And upon disappearing, the mimic left behind where it was and where it was impersonating before, a chest. Upon opening this chest, Raggar was blinded by this deep blue radiant light, very much like he experienced on his way into this realm or this world wherever he's at now. So with that, over the course of the next minute or so, you can't hear anything. The only thing you can see is blue. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't dull the rest of your senses. It's just all you can see is blue, and then it slowly fades away. Your eyes returning back to the cavern that you're in. And then looking down inside of the chest, you don't see anything in the chest at all. It's just an empty blue chest. However, you start to feel warmth. So you've been cold most of the time that you've been down here, just given the surroundings. But now you feel almost not too warm, but definitely a moderate temperature. And definitely you can tell that there's a difference. Given your limited understanding of the arcanes and things of that nature, you can kind of guess that whatever was in this chest was a blessing. Given that information, you can go ahead and give yourself 150 temporary health points.
Oh boy. No, that doesn't work. How do I do that on the D&D Beyond?
I think up in your HP area, you can right click on it and manually adjust, and there should be a spot for temp.
Oh wow, I'm stupid. Okay. Sorry, I'm new to using this.
No, you're good.
Alright, well, that's a blessing.
So,
Alright,
at this point, now that you've done that, you're kind of regaining your senses. You can hear again some voices they sound a little bit closer than they did before, but they're still calling your name. You can hear them, Raggar, Raggar. And again, you don't recognize the voices, but they feel friendly, they feel familiar, beckoning you farther into this tunnel than what you've gone so far, telling you to come find us, seek me, is what you're hearing. All right, so you can continue as you like.
Alright, so I'm going to stealth.
All right, go ahead and roll stealth for me. Okay, your senses are on high alert right now, having just been taken by surprise by a mimic. So you have calmed yourself down and resumed this quiet, reserved movement. And you don't notice anything in the chamber in the past few minutes while this was happening has happened. Everything seems to be exactly as it was after defeating the goblins, and again after getting rid of the mimic.
Okay. I'd like to... Can I take those... I don't know if I can do this while I'm stealth, but take those bracers out and equip them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually, before I do that, is there any... do I know whether they're cursed or not? Like when you gave me the description of them, was that the full description? Or
Yeah. I would tell you if it was cursed.
Okay. I just asking for the points. All right, I'm gonna equip them then.
Cool. You now have advantage on stealth checks.
All right. Advantages when... I guess I'll just roll 2 rolls.
Yeah, that I'm not sure. I don't know if there's like an advantage button or not. There might be somewhere.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna make my way over to the door. Well, door. Entryway. Kind of muttering under my breath. glaze to the corner, check things out, see if I see anything. I don't think I see anything. I'm going to progress.
Yep.
The hallway.
Yep. You're good. And as you come around this corner, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. I roll a 17 plus 6, 23.
Okay. So, looking down this hallway, you see a figure. It looks to you, given your knowledge of the races, it looks like a dragonborn, maybe like a sorcerer or a wizard. Again, it's not somebody that you're familiar with, not anybody you know, and their appearance is kind of shimmering, is almost ghost-like, but you can see their mouth is moving. It seems like it speaks 1, 2, maybe 3 sentences, and then the words hit you, and you hear again that voice that you've been hearing, Raggar, this way. And it turns and starts to make its way down this hallway before disappearing.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess I better go that way. But everybody wants to trust a friendly ghost, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make my way down the hallway.
Cool.
I guess stealth doesn't work on ghosts. Seeing what's down here. Oh, actually, before I progress, is there water anywhere around me?
Like pools of standing water, things like that?
Any water?
Nope.
Okay.
If you have like a pouch or something, I would let you like collect some snow, or try to.
I do. Now this is up to you, right? If you allow me to use it, but as part of my character's backstory, or not backstory, but the what is it? The charlatan.
Yeah, the background.
Yeah, the charlatan background. I do have vials of liquid, like vials of water on me.
Yeah.
If you allow me to use those.
Yep, absolutely.
I think they'd probably be like maybe I don't know, like a 16-ounce vial, something like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay, I'd like to cast shape water. Well, actually, sorry. I'd like to take out my vials. I have 12 of them, so I'm just gonna pour out like half of them.
Okay.
And I'd like to cast shape water to create a little figure with me. So what I can do is I can shape it into a basic form, and then it can follow me for up to an hour.
Okay.
So I just want to cast it into like the shape of like a black cat. Just have walk along with me.
Okay. I don't know that you can color those necessarily. Oh, okay.
You can. Yeah, you can color it. So I can shape it and I can color it, and that's it. I can't do anything else. I can only make two changes. So let's pull this one real quick. You cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at your direction. This change lasts for 1 hour. Since I'm out of combat, I can do 2 casts of it, right? So essentially, I can shape it, then I can color it. And those are my 2 casts for it. So essentially, I'm animating it and disguising it, or coloring it, right?
Yep.
And that's all I can do. But it's the water cat.
Cool.
My little buddy.
Can you move the token I put down?
Yep, I can.
There you go.
All right, let's go, water buddy. I love the little like clapping like animation. Like,
Yeah.
stop right here. Look around. I'm gonna have, just for the sake of sense, I'm just gonna keep it behind me further.
Okay.
Because because I do command it, essentially, but
Okay, so as you make your way to kind of this corner where you can see that the walls start to straighten out here, go ahead and make another perception check for me.
okay. That is a 8 plus 6, 14.
14. Okay, so you can see further down this hallway, you catch the back of that dragonborn that you saw before is currently headed this way. But at the same time, to your north, you can see there's another goblin just hanging out in another alcove or room.
No, I can see it.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to go out a little further.
You're good.
I love this cat. Okay. How far away is that from me right now? It's like
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30,
let's see, it's 13 tiles away.
so it's 50, 65 feet.
Okay, can I hit it with a bow with that range? I think I can.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull out my bow, I guess, because I'm not in combat yet. All right, so with my water dude, this is like a technical question, but does stealth, whatever I'm doing, does that apply to it, or do I need to make separate rolls for it?
It will. It will apply to it because you're controlling it basically.
Okay.
So it would just be a matter of how well you control it. So it would factor into your stealth roll as if, like, are you actively thinking about moving this thing quietly?
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna just move him right here. And pull out my short bow and take a pot shot at that goblin.
Okay.
So, that is a 18 plus 7, because I'm rolling with advantage. The higher the two rolls.
Okay. Yes, that does hit.
Okay. 5 plus 5, 10 plus 5, so 15.
15 damage.
Yes.
Okay. So you go ahead and you pull out your bow and you steady and aim on this goblin that you now see to the north of you. You let go, the arrow flies, and you can see it again as it goes to impact on its shoulder. Both the arrow and the goblin are now gone.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as that happens, you can hear that voice again. Quickly, this way. As the dragonborn is now, you know that she was still moving northwest, but you can't see her at this point.
Like quickly, do I ignore? I feel like if I don't quickly, I'm gonna get in trouble. Okay. I'm gonna speed run this one. With my water cat behind me. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna sneak.
Yep, go ahead and roll stealth, and then you can make it to the edge of that wall.
Okay. I rolled a 13.
Okay. Good enough. So you are quiet. You're moving as quietly as you can. So you go ahead and you get to the edge of the wall, and you can push yourself forward 1 to see what you can see in this room. But I'll tell you that you can currently see 4 more goblins.
All right. Not going this way. I think the DM's trying to tell me something, Water Kitty. Meow. Alright. Water Kitty and I are gonna go.
Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, I forgot something. Also, seeing those 4 goblins, you can see a light blue, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like a, 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 it's like a aura dancing off the back corner walls. Kind of in like the very northwestern corner.
Okay.
Very similar to the blue that is on your rapier and bracers.
Well, now I'm conflicted. All right. We're going in. All right. I'm gonna withdraw my. Oh, I already have my bow equipped. I'm gonna take a pot shot. Well, I'm gonna sneak side over here.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty has to be in LOS to stay active. That's not a concentration, just so you know.
Yeah, I know.
Should I just put him here for fun?
Sure, that's fine. That works.
Alright, so I'm gonna lean around the corner here and take a shot at him with my bow.
Okay.
Am I stealthed or not?
You don't know. He has not reacted to you so far.
Alright, so I rolled a 13.
Okay, that does not hit.
Okay.
So as you kind of peek around the corner, you at least notice that the goblin is not looking at you. It hasn't really made any movement to turn in your way. So you go ahead and you notch an arrow and you pull back and you let it go, and it goes right past his face and hits the rocks in front of him, making a cling sound that pretty clearly reverberates around this room. At which point the archer that you were firing at turns and looks at you. So we'll go ahead and roll initiative.
Alright. It's time to run with my rapier. I rolled a 16 plus 5, 21.
Alrighty. Okay. Top of the turn order, you will go first.
Alright, I'm just gonna rush this goblin with my rapier.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come here. Is going on because I haven't told him to do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to swing at him. 17 plus 7 to hit. 24.
That hits.
8 plus 5. 13.
Okay. So rushing forward at this goblin, pulling your rapier out, which I'm going to say will take your bonus action because you had your short bow.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
That's all right. We'll let it go this time. It's good enough. You rush forward and you just, with two hands, you just shove this thing into the goblin, and it screams as it just disappears.
Oh man, it didn't have to scream.
At which point, how many of these goblins can you see anymore?
I can see the one that's closest to me right around this corner.
All right, cool.
I can see there's one walls behind.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that one.
Okay, cool. So yeah, these are a little bit higher than I actually want them to be because you should be able to see them all. Because it's not above their heads; it's like maybe shoulder height. But basically, essentially to your west, there are 3 goblins, not quite in a line, kind of staggered because these walls kind of do what you're seeing here, where you got to go up and then down and up and then down. Basically standing on the edge or the point of each of those. So,
Here, if I can see it. Nope. Okay.
oh, that's all right. But essentially, all 3 of them do have line of sight on you, and you should have line of sight of them. Just know that they're there.
Okay.
So, actually, what if I do this? Hold on. Can you see any more now?
No.
I tried to make them fly, but I guess that doesn't work either. Oh well.
I could see him if you put him on top of the rocks, probably. Yeah, I can see that one.
Okay. That's basically where they're at, just not on rocks. Based actually in order from the closest to the farthest from you, they're all going to take a shot at you with their bows.
I see 2. Are there 3?
There are 3.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see 3.
Okay, so from the closest to the farthest, they're all 3 going to take a shot at you with their bows. So the first one is a 20 to hit.
That hits. That hits. I don't have cover, right? He's peeking around the corner, technically.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so then that hits.
So that's going to be 6, 7, 8 points of piercing damage.
All right.
So this one peeking around the corner, he just takes a shot at you. Just like the last time you're hit, you feel the arrow, you feel the impact, and then it's gone. And you can feel the pain as you take that damage coming off of your temporary hit points, so it doesn't hurt as much, but you definitely know something happened. And then almost in the same instant, you see a second bolt coming from the next closest goblin, which is a 19 to hit.
Do I have half cover or cover bonus?
Against this one, I'll say yes, you do. So that adds, I forget how much to your AC. I'll say half cover. Let me double check.
Cover 2 AC.
2 AC for half? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, so add 2 to your AC. Does a 19 still hit?
Yes.
Okay. So that one is 5, 6, 7 points of piercing damage.
All right.
So 135. So this one also, so you see the second arrow coming at you again, impacts you in your shoulder this time, kind of knocking you back just a little bit, and you can feel the pain just for a few seconds as this bolt has also seemingly disappeared. And last but not least, you see one more arrow coming at you, and that is a 13 to hit. Okay, so realizing that you've already been hit by 2, you see the third one coming, and as it's coming right at you, you're able to kind of dodge, and it misses and just kind of hits a rock and flies away, and as far as you know, is gone as well. And that brings us back to the top with your turn. So I'm going to go ahead and drop them back down for now.
Yep. So I kind of furious on the pin cushion. I'm gonna run around this corner and just stab this goblin right in the back.
Yep.
Okay, he's gonna fall.
You got it.
21.
That hits.
7 plus 5, 12.
Okay. So running around this corner, taking your rapier out just like you had before, you're just thrashing through these guys. So you stab it right through him, and he is gone. Just poof. Another one bites the dust.
I hope you're gonna get used to this cat being around me, Chris, because I'm gonna have it all the time.
So that brings us to...
Yeah,
you got a little bit more move. Yeah, I was going to say, that brings us to your move or your bonus if you want.
Yep, that's there. I just want to move against the wall.
Okay, so this goblin now is going to go, unless you have a bonus action you wanted to do.
I don't. The only bonus action I really have is dash that I could do, but I don't want to use it. I could use telekinetic. Hold on. Do I telekinetic shove? Can I cast that without mage hand being out?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. So let's see.
You would have to read that one off for me because I don't. Telekinetic.
Try to.
Because telekinetic was the feat.
Yeah, it says
right?
as a bonus action, you can try to telekinetically shove one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. When you do so, the target must succeed a strength saving throw DC 8 plus your proficiency bonus, plus the ability modifier of the score increased by the speed or be moved 5 feet toward or away from you. The creature can willingly fail to save. It doesn't say anything about mage hand being casted. Essentially, I can just telekinetically look at someone and shove them.
Sounds like it.
So I'm gonna pull the goblin that I can see, like that's using my cat as a marker, like right here.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull him towards me.
Okay. So what's the DC on it?
So DC on it is 8 plus my proficiency bonus, which is plus 2, 10 plus ability modifier. The score increased by this feat. So I guess my 13.
DC is 13. Okay.
I think that's how that works.
Okay.
I can check that later, but for now, just use 13.
13, and it does save. It makes it save.
All right. Well, I tried.
Yep. So and nothing happens on save, right? It just fails to push or pull.
Yeah, it fails. That's all.
Okay, cool. So at this point, this okay, this goblin is going to go ahead and round the corner, and he's actually coming for you.
Okay.
And he is going to make an attack on you with a scimitar that you have seen him now pull out.
Okay.
And that is a 15 to hit.
Does not hit.
Okay. So he now has a scimitar in his hand, and he just goes to slash across you. And seeing him coming, and given the fact that you were trying to pull him to you anyways, you were already prepared. You're able to just kind of nimbly leap back just a little bit, enough to make it miss. Additionally, you see that this goblin, 5, 10, 15, 25, has made it to about here. And he is going to take aim at you with his short bow and try to hit you.
Okay.
With a... Wow,
How
okay.
does that affect the other goblin?
Well, don't worry about it, because he rolled a critical fail. So he is he's going to notch his short bow and attempt to shoot you with it. Instead, he is going to critically miss, and it's actually going to land in the back of his friend, dealing 8 points of damage. So as you see this second goblin come around and pull up its short bow and just let go an arrow, and it is coming what seems to be straight at you, and then you remember that there's a goblin in front of you, and then suddenly there's not.
Interesting.
And that's your turn.
Invigorated by the rush him and try and pokey.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll 13 plus 7, 20.
Hits.
Okay. 6 damage.
So close. Okay. So rushing up to this goblin, you pull your rapier out and you stab him in the chest, and you can see him this time. He takes the impact and he stumbles back a little bit, and he just kind of stares at you, like baring his teeth, angry, but he just looks so feeble doing it, because you can tell that he's in pain. He's not looking good.
All right, I'd like to now telekinetically shove him against the wall.
Okay. So he needs to make a save again of 13. And he does.
Big set. Okay.
So again, you kind of, using your trickery, you try and use this telekinetic blast to hit him, and it just kind of, it does, but it just, he's able to shrug it off. It doesn't really do anything. He stays where he's at, and he is going to, well, in the essence of not wasting an action, he's going to drop his short bow and pull out his scimitar, and he's going to
do that.
This guy can.
Oh, interesting.
At least the way that I've made them. And he's going to pull out his short bow, or not his short bow, his scimitar, and just take a slash at you. And that is a 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, then you will take 3 points of slashing damage.
He's feeling a little weak.
Yeah. So he takes his scimitar out and just tries to hit you as hard as he can. There's not a lot of force behind it. As you put your arm up instinctively, it just kind of hits you, and you can feel it a little bit. It stings, but that's about it. And it's now your turn. Okay.
And I rolled a nat 20. All right.
Okay.
Plus 7.
Okie dokie. He is dead. He had 1 HP left. It doesn't matter what you roll. He is dead.
Okay.
So as you are now furious at having taken damage again and not have killed him like you have so many others, you just take your rapier and shove it right through his body that vanishes.
All right. I'm going to slowly walk around this corner here, so I know there's no one else in the room, right?
No one else that you can see currently, yes.
Right. Okay. Just gonna have my cat kind of sit here on the rock, and then I'm going to walk up to here, and I'm gonna roll. Can I roll stealth?
Actually, at this point where you're at, go ahead and roll a dexterity saving throw.
I rolled a 21, 14 plus 7.
Okay. So as you make your way to the edge of this row, you see a giant rat come around the corner and take a bite at you, and he misses. And he flies through the air to try and hit you, and he lands over here, now with his back towards you. You do have a reaction right now.
All right. As a reaction, can I can't attack him.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just meant like you have an action at this point, an out of combat action.
Okay, so I rolled a 14.
Okay, that hits. 12? Okay. So as it goes flying through the air and lands next to you, you just instinctively poke it, and it's gone.
Okay. I'm on a stealth.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
I rolled a 25.
Okay, you are back to quiet mode, making your way around this corner. And as you do, you see another treasure chest.
Alright, I'm going to cast Mage Hand. Take a dagger out, right? So Mage Hand's floating next to me. Take a dagger out, hand it to Mage Hand, and have Mage Hand go up and like push the dagger on the side of the chest and let go of it.
Okay, so the hand brings this dagger up to the side of the chest. It kind of puts it right on the top of the chest, kind of, just pushing the dagger in a little bit. And then, the Mage Hand lets go. You let it re-release the spell, however. And you see the dagger kind of embedded in the chest head, a little bit sticks there. It's standing kind of straight up on its point for just a second, and then it falls to the ground.
Not very convincing, Chris. I don't trust it. Hold on, let me be more specific. I'm going to have Mage Hand pick it up and put it on its flat face against the chest, like push it against the chest.
Okay, so you're like setting it on top of the chest?
No, not setting it, like on the side. So like the hand's bringing it up, like you'd hold it.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So that the flat face of the blade is up against the chest, pushing against.
Putting as much surface area on the chest as you can. Okay, so it does exactly that. The Mage Hand then, not releasing the spell, but having the Mage Hand release the dagger the first time, you have it pick the dagger back up, and this time puts the flat of the blade up against the side of the chest, and then you see the Mage Hand release and move back, and this time the blade just falls right back down to the ground.
All right, I'm going to go open the chest.
Cool. So as you open the chest, you can see that there were some holes in the top that were kind of letting out that dim bluish light that you had seen when you found the two previous items that you currently have equipped. So upon opening the chest this time, you do see that at the bottom there's like a light flowing cloak basically sitting at the bottom of the chest.
I'd like to have.
Okay, so the Mage Hand reaches in, grabs the cloak, and pulls it out, and it's just kind of holding it there in the air in front of you.
And can I inspect the cloak?
Sure.
I just want to like inspect it, I guess, with Arcana.
Sure. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check.
5.
All right, it is glowing.
All right, well,
That is a glowing cloak.
screw it. I'm gonna grab the cloak from him.
All right, as you grab the cloak, you start to scream in pain. No, I'm just kidding.
Nah!
Uh,
I was like, I'm done. Done. Can't trust anything.
Hold on, I gotta remember what I named this one. Okay, so just like the previous two items, just touching this this item allows you to kind of know its name and its ability. So it is called the Cloak of Cold Avoidance. So once per day, you can activate this cloak. Doesn't require attunement or anything given the circumstance. But once a day, you can activate this cloak to get invisibility on yourself. That invisibility lasts for 8 hours or until you make a combat action, or if you were to take damage of any sort.
Okay. 8 hours. Combat. Sorry, I'm just making notes for myself.
Yep.
Okay, so for the sake of time, or like me, can I progress back to? I'm gonna use cat as marker. Well, no, I don't want to drag anything. Can I progress back to where I entered?
Yeah, yep, absolutely. You can go ahead and make your way. So making your way back through the cavern, not seeing, or back through this particular area, you don't see anything has changed since coming through, other than obviously there's no longer any goblins in the area. And you can also make your way back down to the hallway where you last saw the Dragonborn. And at this point, you can still, stepping back into the hallway, you can't see her any longer, but you can still, in the back of your mind, just kind of hear, hurry, hurry.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna listen to the ghost, like any sane person would, and I'm just gonna hurry.
Okay. So as you are...
Actually, sorry. Stealthily hurry.
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Stealthily hurry. Be clear. Nat 20.
There you go.
29, baby.
Without actually using the cloak and being invisible, you're just about invisible. So, making your way west, and I'll go ahead and move you real quick. You are going to get to about here, and your little kitty cat following you, and realize that you saw her going northwest still, past this point. When you last saw her, she was past this point, but you do see another opening to your south here. And seeing this opening, it kind of mirrors, but instead of going northwest, it's going southeast. And you can see a wall, an end, maybe 100 to 110 feet down this hallway.
Sound like right about here.
Yep.
Alright, well, still. I guess I'm gonna walk down here. By the way, if I'm like. If hurry is the way you're telling me, like, not to take a turn at every single point where there may be loot, then I won't do it, but I kind of want to do.
Take it. I'm not going to tell you. I can't tell you what's going to happen if you do or don't hurry.
Alright, well, you know what? Screw the loot. I'm hurrying.
Alright. So you're continuing on.
Yep.
So this time... Let's see, you get to...
I'm just going to stop. You can move me where I can go to.
Yeah, I gotcha. So you get to about here. Just in front of this entrance. And you notice that you don't see the Dragonborn. However, to the northwest, you do see another goblin that looks like it's patrolling again. Kind of where this hallway that you're in takes a direct western turn. He's currently walking away from you, so he's headed west. He's not coming down the hallway that you're in. However, to the south of you, way down south, you can see maybe 120 to 200 feet, somewhere in that area. You again see the body of this Dragonborn spellcaster of some sort walking, or not really walking, more drifting in a ghost-like way, just continuing south, and then you see it abruptly turn and head to the west. And
can I actually make an insight check on its motives? Is that possible?
Not from this distance. You're not actually speaking with it. It's not having a conversation with you. So yeah, you see it get to the bottom and take a left, and it is just disappeared, headed west in this new path.
It's south for me.
Well, it went south, and then you saw it turn west and disappear.
Okay, make it right. All right. So Kitty, I'm sorry to do this to you. Um, Kitty's gonna be a little test dummy.
Okay.
So Kitty's gonna follow in front of me. Um, I'm gonna sort of like a cat does with its steps, right? How it follows its front paws. I'm gonna follow my cat,
Okay.
right? Keeping about like 15 feet behind it.
Okay.
So I'd like to just do that down the hall.
You got it. So I'll go ahead and say, for point of brevity, I'll move you guys. You guys get down to about here, being stealthed, no immediate action, or nothing immediate has happened. But you are on the edge of where this cavern turns west, and I'll go ahead and let you tell me what you'd like to do from here. You can't see west, and you can assume that nothing can see you yet, given that the direct angle of this hallway.
Okay. You know what you should do, Chris? Just out of character, real quick. I don't know if there's an option to like create LOS, like my POV is LOS of my character.
There might be. I haven't found it yet, but
yeah, because that would make this like a lot like. I guess I would feel kind of lost right now. Like I can see a lot more, so I'm not super lost, but I would be kind of lost right now if I didn't.
Well, that's also a little bit of the point of this dungeon, which is why I put a ghost in it.
Oh, let's see. All right, well, I'm gonna peer around the corner then.
Yep. Are you going to, or are you going to have your cat? Because the cat is currently in front of you.
Well, so the cat is just animated water. It can't see for me.
I know, but you could watch it as it goes around the corner. Just saying.
Sure, I'll watch it as it goes around the corner.
Okay, cool. So you go ahead and you send your cat forward, and you see it get to about here, just so it's made the turn, and if it were real, it could see to the west, and it disappears.
Take a look-see. Scary. Not cute. Can I take a perception check? See if I see anything out of the ordinary?
Sure. Are you like walking up to the corner to try and see what you can see?
Yeah, I was more so trying to get a better angle at where it was.
Okay. Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
I roll a 18 plus 6, 24.
Okay. So a couple things happen here, actually. So as you are kind of coming up to this corner and making your way to kind of look around and see what happened to your little buddy, first off, you hear like just as you step almost in line, almost kind of past, just a few inches past the edge of where the wall to your west is, almost like a direct line there. You just hear a like you just crushed an extra crunchy chunk of snow or ice or something underfoot, and you hear a rumbling sound, and just to the north of you, back the way you came, you notice that some walls have now fallen down and blocking your way north. However, at the same time, you see your dragonborn spellcaster friend make her way, continuing west down this path, now at a little bit higher rate of speed. As you're watching her, you notice that her form collides with something else as it vanishes. And that something else you see is a small dragon form. And then the token piece on the board is red, but it's actually white. I don't know how to recolor them yet, so just use your imagination.
So it's a white dragon, got it.
Yes. Well, it's a very small, so it's more, to your knowledge and understanding of draglings, you would consider it like a wormling.
Okay. Can we pause, take a break?
Yeah, absolutely. So at that point, we will go ahead and take a break. All right, welcome back. So jumping back in, Raggar has triggered some sort of snow trap that has dropped some enough boulders behind him in the path that he just came down that he cannot return that way. Upon taking a peek around the corner, he saw the ghostly image of the Dragonborn that he's been following kind of disappear to the west in the same direction that he had sent his ice cat earlier. Her body seemingly passing through the body of a red on the screen, but actually white dragon wormling. And that's
Is
what we'll
it
pick up.
is it just standing right there?
Yes, it has not noticed you yet. From what you can grasp, you can't really tell it's laying down. It may or may not be awake.
Can I try to? I'm stealthed, right?
Yep.
Uh, I don't know that much about dragon wormlings. Can I? Can I try to stealth up to it?
Sure.
Actually, so I'm like right here, right?
Yep.
Um, shit, I don't speak. Do they speak? I don't know if they speak. Maybe you can't tell me that, but
Can't tell you
um,
yet.
well, it said one of my help. Um, I'm just gonna walk out into the open and say that it wanted my help.
You're gonna say to the dragon that it wanted your help,
Yep.
and you're saying this in common.
I don't know any other. I know Elvish, but I don't know Draconic.
Okay. So as
Uh,
you walk
and
around,
and can I also like extend it like some gold from my hand, like a pouch of gold?
sure.
I know dragons like gold.
Most dragons like gold.
Okay, whatever.
So as you walk around the corner, and you step out in front of this white dragon wormling, as you can guess, um, you say it asked for my help. They wanted my help, and you hold out this pouch of this open small pouch of shining gold coins in front of this wormling that's now looking at you, and the wormling starts to speak in this dialect that you don't quite understand. You know that in your actual body, in your actual form, you don't understand the dialect that it's speaking. However, for some reason, you can picture the words, like the actual written common words in your head, almost like subtitles, as it's
Okay.
talking. To which you see the white dragon saying, "I know not who asks for your help, but it wasn't me, and
Uh,
you can take that gold and throw it away."
okay. Um, can I like point behind? I'm gonna point behind him and say, it looked like a dragonborn ghost that ran past you while you were sleeping, and like point behind him towards the wall. Kind of like basically just convey the events that I saw.
Okay, make a deception check. Actually, persuasion, because you're not lying.
Persuasion. Um, 14 plus 7. I rolled the deception. My it was 14 plus 7, but my persuasion is plus 7 anyways. You want me to reroll?
No, that's fine. So it was a 21.
Yeah.
Okay, so the dragon again speaking in a dialect you don't really know, but seeing the words, I there's nothing back there as it turns and looks, and all it can see is basically a stone wall and some boulders on the ground, and he looks back at you and says, "This has been my room of sorts," is what you gather from what he says. So basically, he tells you that this is his lair, his area, and there's been nothing in this area for months except for him. He's not sure what you're talking about, but not aggressive at this moment. Um, but then asks you, what are you doing here? You're not actually here, though, are you?"
Uh, I don't actually know where I am, but I appeared here. I'd like to. Can I sheathe my weapons just so my hands are free, so I don't appear as a threat?
Sure.
And then just explain to him like I just appeared here. I'll just say it. So I just appeared here. I don't know how I got here. I don't know if I'm actually here, if this is actually real. Um, but I was following a ghost that came down this hallway, and that's why I came down here. And the stone shut behind me. I saw him walk behind you. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm not a threat. Not that I say that, but like I convey it through
Mm-hmm.
my actions, right?
Well, he continues to stare, and from the way he's looking at you, it's almost like his eyes are looking through you more than at you. And he begins to speak again, saying, "I've seen plenty of ghosts and apparitions, and I've not seen any recently in my area. But I also recognize that you're not really here. And I just don't have the patience to deal with something like this. So just, you can look, but don't bother me. And I suggest you leave, or use extreme caution should you decide to go any further. And at that point, he starts to move towards you just for a step or two. And then you can see kind of to the south, there's like an opening in the wall, almost like a hole. And
Uh-huh.
he just kind of goes through it. If I can get him to. All right, never mind. Well, he disappears through a wall, through a hole, and it's about 15, 20 feet up, so you don't think you could reach it. But there's like a almost like a secret passageway. He just kind of slithers through it, and he's gone.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not following the pissed off dragon. Not fighting the pissed off dragon either. So,
And at this
um,
point, you can now see the image of the dragonborn ghost now just standing here, beckoning you with a finger.
I already took a perception check on this room, right? Like I'm
Yep.
like nothing out of the ordinary.
Not so far. Though looking at where she's looking, you can see that the stones directly behind her are also quite a different color. Almost like they don't belong there.
She like
And
beckoning towards me.
yes, she's like using her arm, like come this way, like pulling, trying to pull you in. And as you start to approach her, she again disappears.
Can I search the room, like the area in front of me for traps?
Sure. Make a perception or investigation, whichever you prefer.
Well, I rolled a 22 on perception, 16 plus 6.
Okay, that's good enough. You looking around the area, you see nothing out of the ordinary, no additional traps. Um, Also, kind of looking behind you and inspecting the one that you apparently had stepped on earlier, which just looks almost like a dull opal sticking out of the ground. So it almost looks like snow. It's so white. Um,
Oh, wow.
but looking around the rest of the room, you don't see anything else like that. You see just more of the regular cobblestones and snow. So, as far as you can see, nothing. There's no traps, no additional, at least not in front of you. However, to the north of you, you do see three additional small opal stones, all in a row. Kind of basically, if for you to now exit this room, you have to go through this additional hallway that's now to the north of you. That was looks like it was running parallel to the one that you came down, and there are three stones there, right in a row. Basically, you're gonna have to go through, past, or over them in some way to make your way north back out of this passage, going that direction.
Okay. Um, what happened to my cat? Like, is there water on the ground around here?
No, it just disappeared.
Damn it. Okay. Um, all right, well, I'm gonna walk up to this
And
oddly
actually, when
colored.
it disappeared, I'll include this with your perception. You notice that the water in your vial is refilled.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna shoop de la whoop de my cat out again.
Mhm.
With my shape water, and yeah, because I like having a cat.
Okay.
And then I want to check this fake wall in front of me. I just want to like touch it cautiously to, because it's a weird color, right? So I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Give me just a second here. I'm getting your cat back out.
Yeah, sorry. You might want to just drag him off, and then put him somewhere, and then something like that happens. In case I need to make him again, because anytime there's water, I can do this.
Yep. All right, there you go. He should be back out. So,
All
as
right.
you kind of come up to this stone that's in front of you, you go ahead and you reach forward with your hand to kind of touch it to see, what it is, if it has any sort of different consistency, anything like that, and your hand just goes through it, and at that moment as well, it disappears, and you can
Ooh.
now see in front of you. This is not to scale. I couldn't find the one I wanted, but you do see a large chest with like a chain padlock on it. And this chest is... Sorry, I'm going to move you just here for a second.
Yeah.
I can move you back. But anyways, it looks like it's large enough to fit a body. And you can see that it's kind of moving almost a little bit. And at that point, you see the image of the Dragonborn again appear right in front of the chest, kind of looking at the chest and almost at you a little bit, and it just puts its arm out and points at the chest.
Can I make a, what is it, insight check? Or like see if like what I'm seeing in front of me looks like it's genuine or has bad intentions. I don't know what that would be.
Sure, go ahead and that'd be insight. Roll an insight check.
Okay. Insight. I rolled an 11.
Okay, so from what you can tell, this ghost, spirit, apparition, whatever it is that's in front of you, wants you to open this chest, and then it disappears.
All right. Well, actually, before I do that, mage hand, dagger to the side, checking for mimic because I don't trust it.
Yep. So just like the last time you used the mage hand, and it puts the flat of the dagger up against the chest again, kind of avoiding the chains and things like that, so it's right on the actual physical, what you would assume is wood part of the chest. Puts it on there, and then the mage hand moves back, and again the dagger just falls to the ground.
Okay, I'd like to cancel out my cat spell, but just leave them there for now, I guess, on the board. And then I'd like to shape water into the lock of the chest and then freeze it.
Okay.
Attempting to break the lock.
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that. So you go ahead and you shape the water. You push some of the water into the lock, and then with a twist of your hand, you freeze it, and you start to note that the ice kind of starts to crackle out. You hear some clinks. You see the padlock kind of move a little bit. However, given the amount of water that you used, it looks like it's now also frozen onto the chest. From what you can tell, you may have broken the lock, but it's now frozen in place.
Okay, I'm gonna unfreeze the water.
Okay, so as you release,
it's canceling the spell essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So as you then release the spell and the water falls, you can put it back in your vials and then put those back at your side. You do notice that you were able to actually break the padlock itself, and it's now just kind of hanging limply. The chains are also now loose and limp as well, and it's all just kind of setting on the chest at this point.
I'm gonna say you said it was moving before, right?
A little bit. You could kind of hear either that the chest was moving, or maybe there was something moving inside of the chest.
Okay. I'm just gonna say I guess in character. The lock's broken. You can come out now.
Okay. And with that, you see that the top of the chest just slowly opens, and you see this dragonborn figure start to climb out. At which point you do recognize that it was in fact this is the actual physical presence or physical being that you had seen as a spiritual entity prior, now standing in front of you.
Oh.
So from what you can gather, that they were being kept in this chest that was either some sort of life-sustaining magic or something of that nature that breaking this lock then released them, and they were able to exit this chest. At which point, this dragonborn getting out of the chest looks at you and says, "Thank you. I know you're not actually here, and that's my fault. And this isn't actually setting me free. I'm just showing you what I need you to see, what I want you to see, Raggar. I've been looking for days. In fact, it may even be weeks at this point. But you were the first magical mind that I could reach. And so I grabbed you, and I brought you here to show you this area. I know that Cryovane is out there, and I know that he's terrorizing the people and the countryside around you. And I want to help you. I can help you. Not with Cryovane himself. That is your task, and I can't interfere with that. However, know, just know, that he's not the only one, and he's not the biggest threat. The biggest threat is here with me in this area, and I am currently helping you. I am trying to hold it at bay, but I need you to come to this place just as you've done, and do it again. Bring your friends, bring any companions. You must free me, or all will be lost. And she just kind of stares at you with that.
Can you elaborate? What are you? Where am I? How did you reach me? I mean, I guess through magic, but I see. So this is like a premonition. Okay.
We are this is a cave, a system to the south of Fendalen, where I know you're at currently. This is actually where Cryovane was raised, where he was born. The dragons in this cave are from the same loins as him. This is also where his father lives. The one that I'm keeping at bay. If I had more time, I'd tell you more. But the only thing I can do for you now is to show you. To show you events that have already transpired, but will have major impact on what's happening to you now and what will happen in the near future.
Can I ask him? So I want to ask him a question. How long do we have?
I don't know. I don't know how long I've been here. I know that it's not too late, because there's still people that I can sense in the area of Fendalen and the surroundings. I would say maybe the better part of a year or so. I don't know how to get you here. Maybe Cryovane will. I only sense where you are and where things are, but I don't know the path. I don't know. I can't give you direction, but you need to find me. You need to make your way back here. Maybe if you're able to control or subdue or get to Cryovane, I think he would be the key to help you finding this place.
Is there anything else you can give me to help you, or help with this threat? Any other information, items, anything?
There's only one other thing that I can do for you, and that's to show you what happened, so you understand what you're up against. At which point she steps forward and says to you, I would let you travel as me and see my memories when I first entered this place, if you would. But she also says, and in the same way that you came in, I also came in. The items that you have on yourself were items that I found, and I let you find them to help you make it to where I'm at now. So understand that those are not yours. So basically she's telling you don't get to leave with this shit. But she says, if you'll let me, I can show you what happened. And she just stares at you with a hand like outstretched, like almost like a touch my hand to see kind of thing. Are you still there, or are you muted?
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna reach out and grab her hand.
Okay. So at this point, um, just for sake of brevity and not making it too complicated, um, her piece disappears from view, from in front of you. Um, I think. There we go. And then you and your body realize that you no longer have control over your body again. You have full thought, full presence of mind, and you're still seeing through the eyes that you were using to stare at her. But grasping your limited knowledge of arcane, you get the feeling that you're now sharing her memories and that you're
Okay.
now in her body. So at this point, I'm going to give you two options. Option one, this is basically just going to be dependent on how much time you have left this evening. Option one, I can let you play through the rest of this dungeon. Basically, you would still play as yourself because she had the gear that you had and would assumably use it. Or I can do a brief walkthrough and kind of show you what happens. I just kind of want to leave that up to you since we are coming close to the 3 hour mark. It would probably take us maybe another hour or so to run through this that way. Like letting you
Um,
play through it.
yeah, so I don't need to run through it. I mean, it has nothing to do with the time constraint for me. I understand. I was like really kind of lost up until about 10 minutes ago. So, and now this all makes sense.
Okay.
So I mean, if you want to just do like a quick run through of it, that's fine with me. Because I don't need to go through and check every single chest and look at every single item and everything. Um, so if you just want to give me the short version, and then we can do whatever afterwards.
Okay. Cool. So I'll go ahead and I'll just kind of I'll basically we'll theater mode this and let me pretty much narrate what happens from here. Um, cool. So fun stuff. So at this point, you are now this dragonborn character. Again, like I said, holding the gear that you had before. So you start to watch as this scene progresses before you, as she also had stopped here and spoke with the wormling that you spoke with. It did the same thing, calling her a ghost or some sort of essence that he couldn't really surmise. You get the feeling that she might have been using some sort of spell or illusion to make herself seem that way.
Oh, so okay, that makes sense. So she was physically there.
Yes, yeah. So you're now watching her memories
Okay,
when she was physically doing this.
okay,
So she then, obviously having also set off the trap that you set off, walks up to these traps, bends down, kind of inspects them for just a few moments, and just kind of trips them. Basically, nothing happens. She's able to disable them and continue her way north, back up this adjoining passage to the one that you had came down. Making her way up here, she also then sees the archer that you were seeing, one of those patrols. At this point, she pulls out a cloak with like a dim blue essence to it, which you now know was the cloak of cold avoidance. So she puts the cloak on, and you get the feeling that you're now invisible. So she does, in fact, use the invisibility aspect of this cloak, and she is now no longer present, basically, to anybody's eye.
right.
So she continues to move along this pathway, sidestepping the goblin very carefully. You can tell that she is also relatively sneaky, just like you were, and making very, very little noise. Like she's literally next to a goblin, making no noise. She then slips up this northern passage, at which point she gets to about here, and there are some rock walls, and staring into the cavern, which you can now see through her eyes, there are two large trolls inhabiting this cavern.
Oh my.
So at this point, you watch her kind of run up to these rocks, knowing that she's invisible, but still not wanting to. Tries to attack troll.
Sorry, I was just messing around with the controls while I'm listening.
But still not wanting to draw too much attention and be as quiet as possible, she very stealthily works her way down each of. I like how it shakes the screen when they move.
I like it too. That's pretty cool.
Works her way between each of these piles of rocks, just kind of waiting for the trolls to not really be looking in her direction every time she moves, just in case she leaves a shadow or something of that nature. Is kind of what you gather. Makes her way up here, eventually into this small room, where, as you've seen many times, is a rat guarding these chests. She quickly dispatches the rat. She does not use an attack action. You're not really sure what she did, whether it was a spell or you get the feeling maybe there's something else invisible with her. But you see the rat die, and this time you actually see it fall to the floor and bleed out and stay there. She then goes ahead and opens all 4 of these chests. And in each of the chests, she finds a metallic ring. So she now has 4 rings, one from each of these chests. She just kind of pockets them and continues to make her way. And she, in the same action of going in, stealthily makes her way back through this area, through the trolls, managing to, being invisible, avoid any sort of detection from them. Makes her way back down to the main area, this main hallway that you started in the first time. Going west again, she sees another goblin patrol. This time she kind of stays by the wall. Maybe she didn't make a good stealth roll or something. And just kind of lets this one pass. And then continues on her way, if I can grab her, west. Upon seeing 2 pathways here, she does notice that this first pathway also has some traps in it again. She goes up and kind of inspects it, realizing that she really doesn't want to try her luck. Decides to take the side route, making her way south with no apparent encounters, nothing in her way for quite a while. She makes her way south until she sees a 3rd goblin patrol just kind of hanging out. This one starts to move away, and she makes it up to the corner and takes a look around. Seeing nothing else, she decides to go ahead and dispatch this one. So she, just as you had done a few times, pulls out the rapier, runs up behind it, and just stabs it right in the back. And again, this time you see it bleeding out. You can hear a death gurgle as it falls to the ground and dies. So then continuing on her path, she heads eastwards a little bit, coming upon this next entrance, at which point she sees another goblin has made its guard here, and it's just kind of standing here in this area. He doesn't have a whole lot of room. She doesn't have a whole lot of room to move, so she goes ahead and goes north into this large open area here, at which point she is able to identify the wormling that she spoke with earlier, along with another one kind of in the back corner here. They're laying around. You get the sense, she gets the sense that this is kind of like a lounge area, or maybe where they spend their time, or maybe where they eat, where they bring things. You can see scattered along the ground are piles of bones and other bodies and things of that nature. Not wanting to draw attention to herself and kind of exploring this cavern, she continues on through this new opening to the north here, knowing that past her goal was headed east. She just goes ahead and continues southeast down this corridor here, coming up along what she sees in the ground at first is like plates, which she associates to be like maybe traps. At which point she goes ahead and reaches down and disables them. And you see these large spikes come up in front of you. So very luckily, she realized that there's definitely some fortifications here. It's not sure how or from where, but she's able to set this trap and move past it safely. Which brings her to this rather large chamber with I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, with this large stone structure in the middle of it, kind of like a large pedestal. And stepping into the chamber, or well, stepping up to the entrance and then making her way to this rock inside this chamber, she's able to identify. At the very first thing she sees is a young white dragon staring up at this pedestal in the center of this chamber, and on top of that large pedestal is a very large, very ancient-looking white dragon. I don't know. Can you see both of those?
Yeah, I can see it. See the big one. Can you scale the size of those like things you put down of the dragons?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's as big as it gets. It's like a 8x8, I think.
Yeah, well, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to get any bigger.
So, she, knowing she's invisible, she kind of comes up here to get a little better look and to kind of hear. You get the sense that because she's a dragonborn, she speaks Draconic. So, being in her mind and viewing her memories, you can hear that they are talking. And at which point, you hear the large elder white dragon begin to speak, and you just hear this conversation play out. So you hear him say, "Cryovane, now is your chance to prove yourself to this family. I care not for plundering or riches or anything that any of these adventurers have come here to plead with us for, to save their homelands. I care only for spilt blood and for food and for dominion over lesser creatures. If you wish to take my place, I need to see that you are worthy of being a white dragon. For you to do this, you must claim your own territory. Make your name feared. Control many. Then, once you have a legion of your own, you may return to me, and I will test you. Should you pass that test, I will impart my wisdom upon you and allow you to claim the title of an ancient. I don't expect this to go quickly, but the quicker that you succeed," and at that point you hear the young white dragon start to speak. "Oh no, father. This will be quick. I already have an area in mind. I've already scouted it. I've already laid siege to a few towns, and I know of a large orc fortress or stronghold that I could already make residence in. They are puny creatures. They won't last against me very long. Give me just 3 years, father. 3 years, and I'll show you I am worthy. So be it, Cryovane. You have 3 years to prove to me that you belong in this order." At which point, the large elder dragon begins to turn around and just kind of slink back to the corner, and what you can surmise, he's done with this conversation. He lays down and just kind of is nodding off a little bit. And at that point, the young white dragon that you now know to be Cryovane starts to ascend and flies through a large opening that you now see at the top of this area. So it's this big dome with an opening at the top, and he just kind of takes off and leaves. He's gone. And at this point now, you can kind of get the sense from the sorcerer that you're currently inside, well, that sounds weird. Um, that she is scared, but
Right.
is feeling this moment, this intensity, this I've got to do something. I've got to do something now. Um, so she begins to make her way this way, kind of coming up the backside of this pedestal where she can see now that there is almost like a ramp, like a way up. And she begins to ascend these stairs. And she gets. So the elder dragon is currently looking the other way. But she gets to about here, at which point you hear through her ears another eerie voice that you have not heard before at all in this cave. And you just hear, no. And then her vision goes black. And then a few minutes later, this no longer matters. But a few minutes later, your eyes open. You realize you're still within this dragonborn, and it's still pretty dark. But given that she's a dragonborn and she has dark vision, she can tell that she's now encased in something. And she reaches out and touches the sides and the top, and it's got this wooden feel to it, but it's not as soft and pliable as wood. It's some sort of enchanted wood. And she starts to panic a little bit, and then calms down and starts to reach out with her mind, and realizes that she's still in that dungeon that she was in, that cavern where the white dragons were. But she has no way of knowing how long she's been here or how to get out. So she starts reaching with her mind just out, continuing as far as she can. You can feel that this is some sort of maybe like scrying,
a magical trap or something.
Yeah. So you can feel that she's in some sort of confinement. It's magical confinement. But with reaching out with her mind past that, even you get the sense that maybe she's using some sort of scrying, some sort of seeing ability. At which point you start to pick up these little bits of life, and you can feel in her mind she tries to touch these lives to no avail. It's just almost like a dull thud of like headbutting these life forms with no response, until eventually she comes upon this small room with about 5 specks of life within it. And the first one that she sees looks a little brighter than most. There's 2 of them in that room that are brighter than most, and she just picks one and goes right for it. And at that moment, when she makes contact with that light, you just know immediately that was you. This was the moment that she found you and entered your mind and brought you here. And at that point, you, Raggar, wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night.
Oof.
And looking around, kind of trying to grasp where you are, your backpack, your explorer's or adventurer's pack, whatever is next to you, you hit it in this moment of panic, and you hear a clink, 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 like a jingle that you don't remember being there when you went to sleep.
Can I check and see what it is?
Yep. So you go ahead and you start messing around with the bag. You open some pockets, and you see in one of the side pockets of this bag are the 4 rings that this dragonborn had taken out of those 4 individual chests. Just kind of like a dull metal with like some sort of gem or stone on top of them, and they feel slightly warm to the touch. That's where we'll stop.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Seems like you put a lot of thought and effort into this.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun designing it and coming up with it.
How long did it take you to put this map together?
Um, all in all, probably like once once I started like copy pasting chunks and stuff, probably like 4 hours. That's like from the time I asked you last night what the name of the app was. I downloaded
Yeah.
it and I started making this map, and then I went to bed around like 3:30, 4 o'clock
Oh,
probably.
I was gonna say because it probably would have taken me longer, but I'm particular about details.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I know.
I thought about making it bigger, but that's when I was like, you know what, this might take too long to begin with,
Well,
which is
that's why
also
I was like, I was trying to gauge, right? Like, since we're out of the game now, right? Trying to gauge whether like I should continue or like continue looting, and then it's like I'm just gonna fight. Like he's like giving me a lot of, come down here, come down here. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll just go check it out. If it's a trap, I'll deal with it. But if it's not, like maybe it'll give me more information.
yep. So my idea behind it was if you decided to avoid the ghost and you made your way through the chamber, you would probably find a couple more items. You would have encountered the trolls, the worms, and you would have gotten to this chamber. And either the elder dragon or the voice that you don't know where it came from would have had true sight on you, and you would have had to fight the elder dragon.
And died.
Yeah, and then reappeared in your body.
Yeah, I know I'm a rogue, Chris, but I mean, I'm level 3, and I can't fight an elder dragon.
No, that's the point. Like, the point of that was like you need to find the ghost, or you're just gonna come down here and get nothing out of it. At which point, I probably would have pulled you aside later, and you would have had the dream again, or
Yeah.
I would have let Insidious's character have the dream because she's the other magic user in the building.
Okay. I'll be right back. Give me a
Yep.
sec.
All right, chat. What'd you think? Good? Bad? Need some work? Do we have fun? Oh man, this campaign suddenly got way more interesting. That's what I was going for, man. Dude, I love these figures, though. I'm trying to keep it interesting, man. Give you guys stuff to look forward to work towards. The details on some of these pieces are actually really nice. I'm excited. Yeah, I had to. You said there were 3 kingdoms that you were going to include. Not specifically. I was just saying that those of you that like introduced some sort of kingdom in your background, I would try and include them in the story. So like you, for instance, you came from this kingdom that your father was a soldier in. It's not a kingdom that's a current part of this world. So once your backstory is done, I'll go ahead and assign that kingdom an area basically on the world map and bring it into our campaign. So, and if anybody else has a background that would bring them from some other sort of kingdom or civilization, I can look at including those as well. Basically, is what I meant by that.
All right, I'm back.
Cool.
No, I can actually pull up your stream. It's not considered cheating.
Yeah, it's just I didn't want you to see all the hidden creatures.
No, it would have ruined it for me. So
You did
I
you did skip one room that had spiders in it,
wow, what a shame.
but that was it.
That room was
No.
that the room that I was like, yeah, screw this room.
Yep, that was there was a chest in there with another piece of her item that would have been a fourth piece of her item equipment. And had you actually found that item, you might have been able to fight the Elder Dragon with the set bonus I was going to give you. It would have
See,
been tough, but you would have at least stood a chance.
see, I wasn't. What is the second I picked up a scimitar or whatever? I was like thinking to myself, he's either gonna put me against a dragonborn or a dragon, and I can't fight a dragon. And then with the poofing, I'm like, wait, I'm not really here. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Like I knew that from the beginning, right? Going into a dream.
Yeah.
But like I was like, wait a sec. So like I should just follow. What's the worst that could happen? I die. Maybe I learn something.
Yep.
But I don't actually die. This is a dream. Which you kind of let me know by giving me 150 temp health.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, time to just go balls to the walls.
Yeah. Basically, at that point, you were slowly becoming her character.
I see. Okay.
So, like, one way or another, you were going to hear the conversation between the dragons. Whether or not it was guided and you saw what happened at the end with the Dragonborn, where somebody told her no, is the part that you might have missed if you'd have just ran in without talking to her and taken on the dragon.
That makes sense.
So you got the extra hidden Easter egg of knowing that there's somebody on the inside and somebody else with the dragons.
I don't remember. What's her name?
You don't know.
I don't know.
Didn't say. They did not say. And that was on purpose. And because I hadn't thought of a name yet.
That's fine. I just couldn't remember if I knew it or not.
No. So you can go ahead and add to your inventory if you're still in there 4 unidentified rings.
Yeah, I am. Tori.
Backstory for the most part is finished. Just haven't had time to come together as a group and discuss. Gotcha, Yankee. Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, the sooner you have it, the easier it'll be to start piecing things together, but we'll get there. We can also work on that next Saturday if we need to a little bit at the beginning of the session. Let you guys
What do you want
kind
me
of
to
talk
set
out
it
your
as? Just
backstory.
like signet ring or something? Does it not matter? Just ring.
Just put ring. I mean, I know that you have them and they need to be identified, so.
Okay, well, just a little bitchy about it. I'll just add this.
Yeah, signet ring, any non-magical ring right now until
Yeah,
you
I'm just gonna add some signet rings.
Cool.
And then I'll cover everything. There we go. Cool. Oh, is he watching? Yankees in here.
Yeah. Yeah, he was watching. He said this campaign suddenly got way more interesting.
Yeah. Don't say. Now I feel like I'm on a clock. I don't care. I'm still gonna do side quests.
Yeah, trying to give you some long-term content. So.
Oh no, I understand. I like how you're like, if you didn't make the right choices, I'm just gonna give someone else the dream. Like, you know what, man? Screw you.
It wouldn't have been as extensive. It would have been like a face-to-face meeting with the Dragonborn, probably.
Yeah, I get it. I wonder for this, if you're gonna use this for the campaign, though, if there's a way for you to like fog of war within a radius of the player's like character pedestal thing.
Yeah, so you
So
guys can't see the other parts of the board. I'm
yeah,
sure there
so you
probably
can't see the
is.
whole map.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to do it because like I know, right, because I went through it right in the dream, but like everyone else doesn't.
Yeah.
So like I guess for sake of playing it, right? Because that would have made it more confusing for me,
Yeah.
like just to navigate.
Yeah. Makes sense. Yeah, I'll have to play around with it. I'm sure there probably is. And again, I
I
didn't
didn't even
know.
get that far with it when
Yeah.
I was doing it myself.
Yeah. I'll mess with it. I'll click through all the tutorials and see what's what. But
It's also early access, but it's honestly a good tool. The other thing you could do is just put tops on all this stuff, and then like just put a top, right? And then as players, we can just hit N to reveal the area that we're in.
mm-hmm.
So it reveals the top, and then we can't see what's below the layer. That makes sense.
Yep.
Like if you put a roof on everything, unless we like mouse around and be little assholes about it,
Yep.
right? But I think everybody who's playing this game will understand that that just ruins the game.
Yep.
So I mean, you could do that with your dice rolls if you really wanted to, right?
Yep.
So, um,
Yeah.
anyways,
I'll mess around with it a little bit. We'll see what happens.
yeah, no, that was fun. It's cool. This dungeon was cool.
Yeah. I have got to pee. I will be right back, and then we'll wrap up the stream. I think.
Okay.
Alrighty. All right. I'm gonna wrap up the stream real quick. I'm gonna mute myself for a second in Discord.
All right.
Alrighty, guys. I think that is it for our solo session. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I hope that if you missed part of it, you go back and watch it because I think it was pretty awesome. And you'll definitely want to know what happened here. This has got some interesting story, especially basically from the point where Raggar met up with the ghostly spirit that he was following. From there to the end where we kind of went into narration mode is going to be canon to my storyline, to the session that I am DMing. So I definitely recommend checking that out, making sure you go back and listen to that if you missed any of it. But aside from that, thanks for hanging out. Again, I hope you guys had fun. I know I did. Don't forget, next Saturday we will be doing this session again, because this Saturday was supposed to be our other session. Didn't work out. So next Saturday, as long as we get everybody together or things are looking good, it'll be this session again. Don't forget, if you want to show up and you want to hang out, you want to grab a character and play for a minute, do a quest with the guys and gals, you certainly can. I've got some pre-made characters. The quests are pretty easy right now. We're just doing little things, trying to get a party built together, kind of get little pieces and tidbits of information. It'll be our first full campaign day because our last Saturday stream, we created our characters, then we did just a little bit of intro and like the first part of the first quest. So you can always go back and watch that too. It's the last hour or two, I think, of what was the title? I think it was Session 0 from last Saturday. If you want to get completely caught up, watch that. Watch this. Tune in next Saturday where we'll be doing a full first session, having people running around. Yep, Session 0. Awesome. that is the one you want, the end of that session. Basically, if you're just moving the drag bar through, I think when we start actually doing things, I've got the screen that you'll see is actually 4 character sheets stacked on top of each other. That's about the time where we start. I go through the background lore of the area and kind of introduce Cryovane as a white dragon and what's going on in this area. 2.5 hours in. Cool. Yep. That's where you want to go if you want to get caught up. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Don't forget, we will be back Monday with regular streams, doing some RuneScape, maybe some League of Legends, just some random stuff, playing games, hanging out with you guys Monday around 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to tune into that. I'll be chatting it up. We'll be playing games. We'll be doing whatever, hanging out. Also, don't forget about D12, our current bonus incentive for the month of September. We can do, if we hit that this month, we will do a 12-hour stream. My voice will probably go out at the end, but we will do a 12-hour stream of D&D, a giant session. We can make it canon to the storyline. Basically, it'll just be, some sort of event. Something will probably happen that'll trigger a bunch of side quests, a bunch of small quests you guys can go out and do, and we can have anybody come in, grab a character, do a quest with some of our regulars. Our regulars could do a quest, and then maybe they want to go to the inn or the tavern and get drunk for a couple hours and let somebody else go on a quest with the rest of the party. We can switch people in and out. We can make things work. Again, that is if we hit that incentive by the end of the month. And it is September on Twitch right now, so hitting subs is part of the goal, because it's either or. If you do subscribe, it does add to the 1K payout. They go hand in hand, so a combination of the both. But it is September, so it's 20% off those subs if you got Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime subs, or just like that, 10 subs. And thank you very much. So yeah, that is awesome. I really appreciate that, man. That is awesome. But that's another step on the way. Going for that D12, man. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We can get so many of you involved. It'll be a great day. We'll start probably around noon, 12 p.m. Eastern, like we did with the last 12-hour, and go through midnight or until whenever my voice gives out. Basically, taking a break for dinner. I'll go ahead. I'll let these play out. Don't want to let anybody miss their awesome name on the screen. Now you're fine. Oh man. But yeah, again, I'm so excited for you guys. Hope we hit this. But yeah, tune in. Keep the Beaker Show. Get in on the Discord if you want updates, want news, you want live notifications, not just for me, but for other streamers I support, other streamers that I like to watch, that I think are doing great things, that I think deserve your guys' views, or at least a follow. They're great people in aspects of ways that I may not be. Maybe you like something about their stream more than you like about my stream. Feel free to give them a look around. Great people, great community so far. I know we're small, we're getting started, we're building, so bear with me with things that I have or don't have access to. We'll get there, I promise. But yeah, I think we got 2 more subs, and then we'll probably call it quits for the night. So again, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, whatever it is for you, wherever you are. Right in the middle of the outro. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not in a hurry. We got our new lights up today, if you didn't see that. No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Yeah, they do. We're gonna get some string, some strands. I've got some strands to put on the shelves. Highlight those pops. I think it'd be pretty cool. It looks a little bit different in the morning. We can't really have the collared lights in the morning because there's basement windows and the outside light shines through and kind of messes it up. But for like D&D, setting the mood, setting the atmosphere, I really like it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. So we'll catch you guys next time on the Beaker Show. Have a good night.